The Jay Thomas Show at Sirius 108, XM 139. Shuli is in the ha-ha seat today. Boy, we have been getting all sorts of emails at jthomas.com. And
flooded with emails, Jay.
Welcoming me over here to 108 and the whole thing, but they don't know who everybody is. What's funny is remember the guy Rob? He was our intern from Delaware State.
Rob Marshall.
Rob Marshall. I did his broadcast class yesterday.
What do you mean you did his broadcast class?
Via satellite. They
Get
had me,
out of here!
No, they had me via satellite early in the morning, and there were the students there, the little broadcast students, and Rob was there, and the teacher with the phony announcer voice, that couldn't get a job anywhere, so he became a PhD in journalism.
Sure.
And he teaches and all. So he was reading the resume.
Rob must have looked like hot shit after that, man. That kid must have gotten laid after that.
So the guy goes on Wikipedia, and he's got like a 2-page thing, and it's like, born in Kermit, Texas. He went through the whole thing. And so he gets to the thing, and he has a daily show on Sirius 108, XM 139, and he has various co-hosts. And he says, there's Rodney Lee Conover, there's Madison, and Shuli. And everybody starts laughing. They start laughing. Just by hearing the name. So one kid says, is Shuli a hand puppet? I said, what? It's like they thought you were like a character I did where I'd be talking normally. I go, well, what do you think, Shuli? Well, I don't know what I think, Jay. I just think you're nuts.
Me no understand it, Jay.
Yeah, they thought you were a character.
If I was a puppet, I'd have a Spanish accent.
Does your name ever get a laugh? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do this on the 18th of December at Caroline's. Ladies and gentlemen, the comedy stylings of Shuli. Like that. Then I should just have my hand go, hello, everyone. How are you?
And bring a sock puppet up.
By the way, the December 18th show is close to being sold out at Caroline's, and people have been going online. Ticketmaster, Sean Kelly sent me the whole deal. The people at Caroline's are so excited, and it's Jay Thomas and Friends, an evening with Jay Thomas and Friends.
There's a buzz. There's a buzz about this.
There's you, and then there's Rodney, and then I'm out of Friends now. See, so then you've hired,
checked the list.
Trickles? What's his?
Twitchell's, who I'm going to bring on the show next Wednesday when I sit in on the afternoon show.
I want that woman, the night that you hosted Caroline's,
I know who you're talking about.
She kind of looked like Sarah Silverman to me.
She was a good-looking older chick.
When you say older chick, I don't remember her being older. Did she have a good set? Was she funny?
Yes,
that night?
She's been on Comedy Central. I can't think of her name right now. I'll jump on the website.
Yeah, and I mentioned, we need a woman on the show. You can't have,
I don't know about all that.
And you know what? I don't want all, and so then I put my fist up her ass. I don't want all of that. I want.
So now I got to come up with a new opener. Is what you're telling me?
That's right. I want inventive comedy. I want, when people say these are your friends, I want to be proud of them.
Let's not forget that it was in Caroline's on Broadway where I was doing my material and following my set to maybe 20 people. It wasn't a packed house.
No, it wasn't.
A very, very happy and excited Jay Thomas approached me and said, "Kid, how would you like to sit in the ha-ha chair?" And,
is that what I said?
Yeah. Yeah, and the rest was all history.
There you go.
Kevin Meaney goes, "Don't do it." He was standing right next to you, and when
would you like to be a part of the Jay Thomas show?
The Jay Thomas experience is what
I had to push my way through the crowd to get to you, to get there. So
Kevin Meaney is the greatest because he looked at me and he goes, "Kid, you got it. You got it, kid. You got it. I'm a big agent. I want to sign you." And I'm looking at him. I go, "You're Kevin Meaney. I've seen you on HBO." He says,
Kevin Meaney announced his gayness on this show.
Right, I remember that.
About a year ago.
Right.
I think I was in town at vacation time, or, like holiday time. And he announced gay, and I remember we all looked at each other like, well, you know what? You must have been the only one who didn't know you were gay, because we all figured it out. But, you know what, Sean? We haven't had Kevin Meaney on.
He's funny as hell, man.
You know what? Maybe that, he announced it, then I think he came back one more time. We need to rebook, Kevin Meaney as a little holiday thing, He also, when he was married with the child, was arrested at the San Francisco airport and handcuffed and machine guns held to his head.
Yeah, the army or whoever was there.
Yeah, right after 9/11.
Yeah, they pointed M16s right at him and his kid.
You know why? And he was always getting in trouble. He was he's a man, he's a woman. he's trapped. What is it? Is he a woman trapped in a man's body? What is it when you want a man?
He's a woman.
Gay guys never say they're women. They always say, I'm a man, like that. And you go, yeah, but you want to lick men, so that's not,
Right.
exactly
He's a woman
normal. Women want to lick men.
He's a woman trapped in a man's body with the brain of a child at times.
It's a woman trapped in a man's body with the brain of a child. That's it. What he ought to put that on his resume.
That should be the name
He
of
ought,
his
he ought to
book.
open with that. So now, when I get up there at Caroline's, I don't have to say, "Is everybody having a good time?" Do I?
Are we drinking tonight?
I hate all that.
Give it up.
Hey,
Let's
good
give it up
evening.
for our troops, everybody.
I hate all that stuff. I like to just get up and start talking.
Well,
if
if you're ever at a comedy club and you hear a guy throwing that out, it's usually because he's not having a great set.
Right. Is everybody having a good time?
Right? Are we drinking tonight?
meaning he's hoping you're all loaded.
Well, he's hoping to get a nice response from the crowd for a change, other than hearing the air conditioner hum in the background.
So Madison and I think her girlfriend, they want to sing dirty songs, and it was like they thought it was like some sort of a high school talent night that I was having.
This
Hey, you know
Caroline's
what?
on Broadway, man.
There may be a comedian that listens to our show who may want to send us. Now, I would say you have to be pretty close to professional. You don't. Maybe he's playing in Memphis. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If we found a guy or a woman that was pretty funny, could we ask the people at Caroline's if they'd let him up there?
Yeah, I mean, we can give him a quick 5-minute spot.
If we found somebody, right?
Sure.
You know me. Who am I here for, Garrett Andritz? Who am I here for?
Garrett left. Oh, no, hold on. Here he is.
Garrett, who am I here for?
Yourself?
No. Every time I ask this question, I get the wrong
Oh,
answer.
he screws it up.
Garrett, who am I here for?
The listeners.
There you go. Why do you guys pause? Sean Kelly, executive producer. Who am I here for?
Me, Jay, me.
There you go. You're all, I ask every single day and I get the wrong answer.
Yeah.
I was thinking of you, Shuli, and I don't know why. Every time I see like a drug story, I think of you. But this is the truly, here we go. Driver overreacts to police, overcorrects, crashes, and gets arrested. This guy was driving on Constance Avenue in, I guess, near Santa Barbara, in between Santa Barbara and Ventura. Mm-hmm. And I guess a fire or something broke out someplace, so an unmarked car puts his lights on the freeway.
Okay.
Kelby Carnes, 35 years old, sees the lights, and he's in the car with his 31-year-old wife, and all of a sudden, he takes off.
Rather than just move aside.
That's right.
Right.
He takes off. Well, of course,
Natural
the cops,
reaction when you
No,
have...
but the cops are still trying to get to the emergency.
So they're behind him.
They're behind him. So
They're not even chasing him. They're just trying to get to the thing.
the emergency is in the same block where he's going. So when he gets off of the freeway, they're still behind him.
What a bad trip.
So he drives, and the next thing you know, he flips his truck, and it rolls. And now the cops go, "What's this guy doing?" Right? So the guy flips. The truck is on its side. The wife is in the thing screaming. The wife crawls out of the back of the little,
Window.
Ford 150,
Yeah.
whatever. Now Kelby begins to run. Right? He runs into a guy's house. The guy beats the crap out of him. He comes into the back door. The guy beats him up and drags him out to the porch. And here come the cops. And the cop grabs him and he says to them, "You got me, you got me."
You
And they
think?
said, "For what?"
Yeah.
And of course, he had an outstanding warrant, completely loaded. And they arrested his wife. It's you wonder if these things, I'm looking for it now. His wife had attempted to escape as well, but she was apprehended and transferred to Cottage Hospital for observation, and she was arrested for acting bizarrely. That's what she was.
I didn't even know you could arrest somebody for that.
She was under the influence of, and I quote, some sort of substance.
If you could arrest people for acting bizarrely, Carrot Top should be on death row right now.
You want to know what time of day this all happened? You ready?
Yeah, 1:30.
4:46 p.m. Two police detectives in a northbound unmarked vehicle activated their emergency lights to assist in an investigation related to some robberies earlier in the day. The next thing you know, Mr. Carnes, driving in his Toyota Tundra, and for unknown reasons, thought the officers were after him. He took off at excessive speeds, ran 2 stop signs, sideswiped 4 cars, and then finally flipped over, rolling to arrest, said Sergeant Gonzalez.
I love how
Now-
those guys
yeah.
flip vehicles, yet get out and immediately start to run. Like, I wrench my back picking something up. I don't move. I'm not. You're talking about flipping a truck end over end a number of times, which is a violent.
3 times.
Yeah.
3 times.
And the guy still has the fucking wherewithal to just burst out of the truck and start running. Unbelievable. And the wife.
Enrique Figueroa was standing near the intersection holding his bike. When he told the news press, he witnessed the entire thing.
I just stand there hold the bike.
Mr. Figueroa said, "I'm riding my bike up Constance, and I see the suspect's vehicle strike a white pickup, go to the other side of the street, hit a red Honda, go on the other side of the street and hit a blue Volvo." So he knew all the cars he was hitting. Mr. Carnes then overcorrected the vehicle's path.
Like, what is he, a driving instructor?
His vehicle rolled over 3 times, Mr. Figueroa continued, and it all happened in a split second.
Now, you want to buy some flowers for your date?
Mr. Figueroa said, "I headed toward the scene to see if I could be of any assistance. The next thing you know, the man, wild-eyed, ran out of his vehicle, climbing through the passenger window over his wife. The wife was trying to crawl out the back window that had busted out, and she landed in the cab, the overturned cab of the Tundra,
Jeez.
and ran off." It's like a Cheech and Chong thing, right? You know. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, like, if you could have a picture or video of these two, like, I would so not be surprised. Because in my mind, the picture
loaded. They're on,
that I
meth
have,
or something.
they're like, trailer park, just, I bet you one of them was wearing a Dare to Keep Kids Off Drugs shirt when they got busted. I guarantee.
Here's the sad thing. They were going to pick up their little girl at school.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing.
I watched a news story on CNN the other night about a woman who her husband's unemployed for the past, 9 months, and she decides to try and save money because the economic times are so hard. She was going to put water in the baby formula to dilute it to stretch it out. This kid almost died because of this.
What'd she put in there?
Just water, but the formula. She just put water.
You can't put water in there?
No.
Why, malnutrition?
I guess something happens. I don't know. I was rolling a joint, but what I heard was
That's a weak baby.
It
You know
shocked
what?
me. It shocked, and then I'm like, what kind of idiot mother would do that? And then they go to interview her, and it's this white chick with sunken in cheeks. She looks like she's 60 pounds with 3 teeth sticking out of her mouth, and she's going, "I had no idea that would happen to my baby." And I'm like, you know what? That's the only thing this person is good for on earth, for somebody to blow a load in. That's it. And now look at what she's doing. She's ruining so many people's lives. This kid, a news team has to go cover this idiot. Oh.
I'm always getting in trouble with my family. My wife is totally politically correct. And the kids, in school, they don't make fun of people like they used to, like when we were kids. It's bullying is against the law. And they teach a ridiculous thing called no hazing or something.
Yeah.
You can't torture people or whatever.
Can't shove pine cones up kids' asses.
Yeah, but you can't say anything about people.
They had to make a rule for that, Jay.
But also it's against the law. You can get in trouble for it.
Sure.
So when I'm in the car, I'm talking to myself constantly. So I'm by myself, and some person will walk in front of the car, and I always go to myself, "Oh my God, I got to get some of that now." It's like she's in the car with me, right?
Right.
This woman rode her bike in front of me the other day, and I go, "Oh my!" And I say in the car to myself, "Do you know how fine you are? Do you have any idea how?" And I say it loud in the car. She stops on her bike and puts like one leg up and one leg down, looking up the street, and I'm going, "Are you kidding? Is that for me? Is that for me? Is it? Is it?" And she rides off, and I go, Oh my God! And then the light changes. I do it all the time. Somebody walks in front of the car. I'm with the kids. They got 2 kids. They're friggin' huge, and I forget they're in the car. My wife and I go, Jesus Christ, who would climb on that load?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That? They go nuts.
I remember watching.
Can't say that. You can't say, but it's the truth. It's like, I got to tell you something. I think too many people are living too long, and I think that we're certainly overpopulated. And this consumption, this is one of the problems we're having is we have overconsumed. We have certainly overconsumed food in the United States. We are like almost 50% obese in this country. But there are guys that still keep pounding away on these women, and it truly is unbelievable to me.
You hit it right on the head, though. The overpopulation is it, because I saw on TV, I saw 2 of the ugliest human beings I have ever seen, a man and a woman, and guess where I saw them on? Guess what show I saw them on? Divorce Court. Divorce Court. These 2 disgusting pieces of shit think they could do better. They think that there's somebody else out there for them, and they're leaving each other. Like, that to me is shocking. If I looked like that person, I would never leave her side, ever.
Now, what does that mean? Is the divorce legal on that show? Because that was a show years ago, and they've cranked it up again in the last year or so.
Yeah.
So you and your wife are breaking up.
Right.
And you allow a television judge, who's not legally a judge any longer, to decide your fate.
Yeah.
And what now what do they decide? Do they split the house? Do they split the money? How do they do it?
This is Denise Johansson. She accuses her husband Bob of no longer loving to look at her large, luscious body. This is Bob. Bob says she no longer takes care of his manly needs. We'll find out in a moment on Divorce Court.
Right. I haven't watched it in years. Scott Thomas of Albuquerque, New Mexico, the Jay Thomas Show. Are you the Scott Thomas that's are you a radio announcer?
Already. No,
are you a radio
Connor.
announcer? What are you?
Connor,
What?
talk show host. Yes, radio, and then I'm television show.
Scott
No,
Connor?
I know that. Why are you
Connor.
yelling at me? I know who you are.
You said
you
Thomas.
just said Thomas.
What is your last name?
Connor, Conner.
Oh, I thought it was me calling myself Scott Connors. I'm sorry. Whenever I say talk, yeah. I'm sorry.
Jay's always got Jay on his mind. So
Yeah, you know what? Who's the show about, Shuli?
you, Jay.
No, it's for the people.
You.
No, you said who's
For
it
the
about, not who's it for.
Oh, did I say that again too?
Yeah.
Okay, Scott, I'm sorry. Scott Connor, you are in Albuquerque, and you have your own show. You've been on this show before. Now, are you one of these? Are you one of these right-wing announcer guys? I've never really heard your show.
Well, no, my radio show was more lifestyle stuff, pragmatic, so, sometimes,
Were you already on the air today?
No. I'm on hiatus right now with my TV show on CBS, the local affiliate down here. We're starting back up the second quarter of 09. So.
No, wait a second.
What?
You're on hiatus, and you're starting the second quarter.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've been canned, but don't know it.
I've been there before, man.
No, but I mean the second quarter, isn't that, let's see, January, February, March, April. You won't go back until April or May, is that it?
Yeah, that's my TV show. So now it's all about sponsors, Jay. You know that game.
No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I can relate. I've been on hiatus from my ice cream scooping job since I was 15. Yeah.
I've been on hiatus from Murphy Brown for 9 years.
Getting ready to go back anytime
Getting ready
soon.
to. I still want him to call me back for the get together reunion movie
Hey,
that we're going
I'm
to do.
jonesing for some cheers. All right, I need.
So
some
what can we
cheers.
do for you, Scott Connor? You work in Albuquerque. It's always a compliment when a professional announcer, and I consider the people that are still out there in terrestrial radio as some of the most professional people in the world. I will tell you that right now. I mean, to put up with the crap that you have to put up with inside of the building of a terrestrial radio station that I will tell you, and Sean, you can back me up on this, we don't put up with the same crap that the poor terrestrial bastards have to put up with, do we, Sean?
Well, aren't you broadcasting from your living room or something like that? I mean,
actually, you want to hear something right now? My wife is going down on me right now. as I'm
Yeah,
broadcasting.
Can you YouTube that for me? I would love that. Anyways, listen, I got.
No, I'm not at my home, but I'm right at the ocean, and I have a couple of fishing lines out, and during the show, usually a cork goes under, and I catch a halibut before the show is over. No, I'm in an office. I'm just in an office. I happen to be in California. I'm not in my living room. But at one time, I did broadcast from my garage that I built a studio, and I stopped doing it because my wife would come with the garbage bag, hold it up into the front of the window, and then mouth this: "Take this out. Take this out." And I would go, I'm broadcasting. And the kids would come in the front and go, "Make him stop it! Make him stop it!" Dad! So I moved. I moved away from my house and into the building. Scott, what are you going to talk about on your show today?
Well, two things. One thing is I want to give you a big congratulations for making the cut. You know what I'm saying? You're still there. You're still in the air, and I'm kudos to you, my friend.
Making the cut? Oh, you mean when we did the merger?
Yeah, the merger thing.
Well, we were on the right side of the merger.
Well, all I'm saying is that you got the other guys, they're all bitching about, we only got an hour or two, and it's just, you know what, you're a good man. You made the cut, and deservedly so. So that was my ass kissing right there. Okay, here's the problem I got, boys. You ready?
I don't think it hurts that I've known the chairman of the board for 20 years, but go ahead.
All right, here's the problem, and maybe you can help me out with this. I'm engaged right now, all right?
Sure.
Yeah. What's his name?
So I go back to the girl's, family. They're up in Minnesota. I go back to the family, and she's got this one cousin, right? She's got this, good-looking kid,
banger
cousin, and he's got, and you can tell he wants to bang his cousin. He's one of those guys, right?
So wait a second. It's his own cousin, and he wants to sleep with the cousin. Now, are they first cousins?
My fiance. Yeah, they're first cousins. My fiance.
Well, if he screws the first cousin and they should have a child, the child will turn out, it'll be like all of Sarah Palin's children,
or a superhero,
I got questions about that last kid of hers, but anyway.
Right.
This comedian I worked with, John Toll, has the funniest joke about her. He says she named her kid Trig. Why would you name the kid after a class he's never going to take?
It should be finger painter.
All right, now Scott, don't do bits here. You could never do on terrestrial radio. Okay.
I know. I can't.
This is a vacation for you. So make this fast. You go to your fiance's home,
and her cousin wants to bang her.
I go up to meet the extended family, and then she got this one cousin that the guy wants to bang his cousin. And we all have a hot cousin. I understand that, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you know what? That's kind of creepy, and whatever. We come back down here to Albuquerque, and then just recently, the fucking cousin has been Facebooking her, going, "I miss you so much."
Hold on a second. Wait a second. You're not even married yet, and you're already in to the family drama. Who cares? You know what? Have you been married before?
No.
No. You should stay as far away from this. No, I'm not kidding you. When they talk about problems in their family, you have no need to even make a comment. None.
I mean,
I've been married 3 times. Don't make who cares?
Or just, kind of sit back, take a second to look it all over, and if she fucks her cousin, don't marry her. How about that?
It's not her. It's in the family. It's in the family.
All right, because I'm just looking at this, because the family fucking hates me anyways, because I don't have a 9-to-5 job. I'm sure you guys understand.
But the fact is, if I was...
Why do you keep acting like we have anything to do with someone like you? No, Shuli has a relationship. I'm happily married. Our families don't say to us, "You don't have a 9-to-5 job." What kind of horrible person are you going to marry? Hold it a second. You're marrying a horrible person. Get out of there. Are you nuts?
If my girlfriend contemplated for a second banging one of her cousins, I would leave in a second.
His girlfriend. Wait a second. His girlfriend isn't trying to screw the cousin. He looked at some unknown cousins, and he is already into the drama of the family. Of course, he's chosen, as we all know, the only wonderful person in this obviously intermarrying, sexually deviant, very odd family. Yeah. Now remember, when you procreate with this wonderful woman, one of your children's going to act like these people.
If not both of them.
Yeah, you get me. You get me, man. You know what? You're going to be my first guest on the show when I get back on the air.
Oh, when you're done with hiatus?
Yeah, sure. When I'm done with hiatus.
So, Scott, here's the deal, and I mean this.
All right,
be very, very careful, because you will marry the family. And
I
is
know.
she close to her mother and father?
Yes, she is.
And they don't like you.
Thanksgiving was interesting this year. Yes.
You're just not Springer enough for that family, it sounds like.
No.
You know what else
gotta
you
have a
said? You know what else I
job
think
and
you
work
do?
at Walmart.
I bet you $10.
Okay.
You comment.
I do.
Yeah, you're dumb. You're stupid.
I am.
I went to
know.
my wife's Thanksgiving dinner with all of her Jewish communist relatives, right?
Oh, sure.
Right.
And this is years ago, and they're talking and they're drinking, and one had just become a lesbian, right? And I had really enjoyed her husband from the year before, but now she's a lesbian, and I got to be with a woman that's actually stronger than the husband that she left, right?
Right.
And then they've got the two little girls that I think are lesbians also, the daughter of the one that turned lesbian and the daughter of the one that was a lesbian. They're hugging all over each other, right? And they're all talking about this and that.
Did you videotape this? Did you videotape?
No, I didn't
this?
videotape it. So at the table, they're talking about welfare or something like that or whatever, and racial issues and everything else. And the turkey's on the table, and I say, I'm from the South, and I've always wondered if it wasn't unfortunate that a group of individuals that would probably be a lot happier living culturally and more,
Diversely.
a more agricultural life. This is what I said. They would probably have enjoyed living a much more agricultural life. And I feel as though sometimes that these people that we took from, Africa and brought to the United States and the colonies. Now I'm in so much trouble now I can't even tell you, but I don't realize. I'm in tremendous trouble. Surely you can feel the trouble, can't you? What I'm going to say?
You're neck deep in it.
That these people are now being, I said these people are now being forced into this, architectural and commercially driven, society that maybe, even after all these years, they don't want to be a part of, like that.
Okay.
And I kept saying, and white people keep trying to force a culture on black people that perhaps they have no interest in. They threw me, the woman stood up and said, I won't sit at a table with someone like that. The turkey went up in the air. People went crazy. Absolutely. They threw me out of the house. Now we're in the middle of upstate New York. I go out, I stand by the swing. It's freezing cold. My wife comes out. My wife goes, what were you doing? I said, your cousin gave me some cocaine. And I'll never do coke at Thanksgiving again around your family. All right, so that's it. All right, Scott. So, look, Scott, don't marry her. You got to get the family liking you before, and just call us back when you figure out what the cousins are going to do. Okay?
All right, brother. Thanks,
All
Jake.
right. There he is, Scott Connor from Albuquerque, the Jay Thomas Show. Shuley is here. By the way, go to jthomas.com, get our newest holiday gift, Merry Christmas. Got a problem with that? That's right. And December 18th, Shuley is the headliner. Does that mean you do like 30 minutes? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, depending how many people we finally have on the bill, between 40 to 45 minutes probably.
And Rodney will do like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And I host. Right?
Yes, sir.
I host the thing.
It's your show.
And it will be December 18th. If you had plans to come to New York, do not miss an evening with Jay Thomas and Friends, starring Shuley at Caroline's on Broadway. It's Sirius 108, XM 139.
Jay Thomas Show. Every day something new, something bizarre. For you, for now. The new afternoon show on Stars 2, Sirius 108 and XM 139. The new Stars 2, Sirius 108, XM 139. Infinity, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. East, 3 to 6 West. Maximum Radio with Covino and Rich. Maximum Radio, noon to 3 p.m. East, 9 a.m. to noon West. The Jay Thomas Show, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. East, noon to 3 West. All shows replayed throughout the day. New Stars 2. The new Stars 2, Sirius 108 and XM 139.
If we lose our home to foreclosure, what will I say to the kids?
My house is worth less than what I owe, and my rate's set to adjust next month. What can I do? Questions like these are plaguing the thoughts of so many Americans today. Today and every day, thousands of Americans are avoiding foreclosure and staying in their homes with loan modification programs. Maybe you've heard the term loan modification, but aren't sure how it applies to you. Maybe you're behind on your mortgage payments and are unable to refinance. Either way, our advice is free and we're here to help. So to take your first step towards a lower, more manageable monthly mortgage payment and a lower fixed interest rate, visit loanhelpasap.com or call 1-800-577-1792 for your free consultation on what options are available to you. That's loanhelpasap.com or 1-800-577-1792.
Kurt Busch is trying to make it close in that second spot, but it's not going to be enough.
Got a spin in 3, cautions out.
On Sirius NASCAR Radio, the world of NASCAR comes straight from the track to your radio.
Trouble up in turn number 3. One car.
If he's going to work me like that, he's giving me no choice. Get it. Get that win. 3 more.
Sirius NASCAR Radio is your home for live coverage of every race, plus exclusive shows from the track all weekend long. Get NASCAR news 24/7, expert analysis, and updates from Juan Pablo Montoya.
Hey race fans, this is Juan Pablo Montoya and you're listening to Sirius NASCAR Radio.
Sirius listeners, listen now on Sirius 128.
And XM listeners, it's available now on XM 128 as part of the Best of Sirius package.
Sign up now and get 3 months of the Best of Sirius for free.
Learn more about NASCAR.
To get more details, call 888-5-SIRI-XM. That's 888-574-7496. Or go to Sirius.com/best or XMRadio.com/best.
Sirius NASCAR Radio.
Proud of you today. You hung in there all day.
Jay Thomas. Jay Thomas Show. The afternoon drive show on the new Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Well, surely it wouldn't be the holiday season if I didn't have the normal lineup of guests that I always have.
That's what I've really missed the most.
Who did Howard have on this morning? Just give me one of his guests.
Well, he had
Howard 100
Beetlejuice on this morning.
Okay, we know Beetlejuice.
Yeah, they played a little game with Beetlejuice. And a lot of the morning... Oh, and he had on Paul Fishbein from the Adult Video News, the AVN Awards, with a porn star that came in.
And they talked about the various awards, some of the movies with the names.
Well, what they did is they played a game. They brought in 2 guys, and the prize was you could win a trip to the Adult Video Awards and, party with all these porn stars and stuff. So they had 2 guys, and they brought Beetlejuice in, and the contest was to see who could get Beetlejuice to come to him. So...
What do you mean, come to them?
Like
a dog?
Yeah, like they were on one side of the room and Beatles on the other. And one guy just started jiggling his keys. It was really the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Who thinks of these things?
There's a team. It's a dream tank, really. The whole thing. Think tank, dream tank, shark tank, whatever you want to call it.
Well, we have Laurie Schacht.
It's all in the delivery. That's how you know somebody's funny. It's like people can.
Our first guest is Laurie Schacht from thetoyinsider.com.
Nice.
Now,
my girl loves toys.
Now, wait a second.
Oh.
The fact that the name of her company is thetoyinsider.com. If this was, Howard 101 and we were there Friday mornings like we normally are, there would be truck drivers that are grabbing their wad right now. Man, oh man. But she is is your girlfriend available to talk to us on the phone?
She's not. She's at work right now.
Okay.
Well,
she's coming up.
No, I'm kidding. No.
She is going to tell us about toys, that are like, I think under like $30. And this is for, this is a terrible time, the terrible financial time. And you definitely want the children to be happy. You don't want the kids to know how bad it is. Now, I've been told this by everybody my entire life. And I don't understand why we're not allowed to tell our kids how friggin' bad it is. We're not allowed to tell them how bad some family situation is. We're not allowed to tell them how bad the economy is. We're not allowed to tell them how bad our marriage is going. We're not allowed to tell them how badly we feel. And I have to tell you something. It pisses me off to be sitting in the room with information that will ruin my children's day or night and have to not say it. It makes me mad.
I agree with you, but there is a school of thought where people kind of want them to step in their own pile of crap on their own, kind of like they did. Like
you
people
can't save them. You need to.
Right.
They need to go. I want to say to my kids, listen, this is the worst economy since the Great Depression. Okay,
right?
You know the one that screwed Grandma and Grandpa up and they saved toilet tissue and crap, and they wiped themselves and washed the toilet tissue and save it, and you think they're so nuts? That's the kind of economy we're having now. You idiots. Sitting there going, I want $300 to go on this the trip. You're not getting $300. We're in real trouble here. That's what you ought to say to your kids.
Right before they go to bed.
Exactly. Let them stay up all night thinking about it.
And then you shut off the light and shut the door.
Watch this. Hold it. Watch this. Good night, boys. I love you. The worst friggin' economy since 1929, and my generation is leaving your generation with a $1 trillion debt. I love you. That's how you ought to send your children to bed at night.
Sweet dreams.
And if you have a daughter, watch this. Marry for money. The idea of marrying for love and all of that crap. Jesse of Ohio, the Jay Thomas Show with Shula. Yes, Jesse, go ahead.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Not good, apparently.
Yeah, well,
You have children, Jesse? Do you have kids?
Yes.
I dare you to go. How old are your children? Let's hear. How old are they? How old are they?
23 and 18.
Oh,
I done kicked them out.
You got rid of them, didn't you? That's right.
They've been working since he was 12. I need to drink my beer, so.
Right.
Good for you.
Now, how did you throw them out? I mean, how did you break it? Because I have one that just turned 18.
The first one got fired. The second one got pregnant. So I kicked them out.
Great. Where is the pregnant one? The pregnant one a boy or a girl? Well, listen, you know what? In this politically correct world, if I'd have said girl and it turned out to be a boy,
you would have looked like a total idiot.
In a lawsuit.
Right.
Did you watch the score or carry your lunch? No, I called up.
Is the guy going to stay with her? Is the guy Jesse? Is the guy going to stay with her?
Well, he better. I'll kill him.
You're going to kill him. How would you do it? Do you shoot him or you stab him?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I use something sharp, but not a knife.
You would
like a
stab...
little piece of glass or something and just cut him up until he bleeds to death.
Right.
Kind of like Saw 5,
Right.
Barbed wire.
You would do like Saw 5. Did you see Saw 5, by the way?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
But you know about it. Okay. And the son that lost his job, what was he doing?
Well, his job was to make sure his daughter doesn't get knocked up, and when she got knocked up, Dad fired him.
He's a what?
He's a bass player.
He's a musician who made no money to begin with, and now he's lost his job? You mean, wait a minute, he lost a job going boom, boom, boom.
That's all he did. Yeah.
The easiest and dumbest instrument
Don't
ever.
start, Jay. You remember the last time you said
Yes,
this?
I do. Yes, I do.
A tornado of people. You outraged so many people. You made black jokes, and the phone lines haven't lit up once. You do a bass. You make a comment on what's necessary for a bass guitar to be in music. The phone lines fry.
Hey, Rodney.
Yeah. Go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead, buddy. Yeah, sure.
Do you know how to get a bass player off your porch?
How's that?
You're paying for a pizza.
I wrote that joke. It'll be in my show.
Oh, did you? Cool. You can have it if you want it.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. Jesse of Ohio. Thank you very much. So long.
Father of the Year nominee, Jesse.
Walter of San Francisco. Yes, Walter. By the way, do you think the kids would want to stay in the house with that guy? First of all, think about the house and the smell that the smell that we might have missed just now in that house.
I mean, I picture the daughter, as soon as she figured out she could get pregnant, she ran out to get pregnant. Oh, that's how I'll get out? All right.
Yeah. Let's go to Walter. Walter, this movie Milk, about Harvey Milk, with Sean Penn, that's about the guy in San Francisco who was gunned down by this guy, White. Were you living in San Francisco when that assassination of the mayor and his, I guess his number one assistant happened? Were you living there?
Yes, I was. I just happened to have been working out of Hertz Rent-A-Car. I think it was around 78 or 79, because I was just fresh out of high school, and my first job was out at Hertz Rent-A-Car at the San Francisco airport, and I remember when that happened.
Do you remember how the guy, and I don't know if you remember or not, Shuli, how the guy got off with a very light sentence after committing a double murder. Do you remember, Walter, what his defense was?
Well, I think he pleaded insanity.
No, but something caused the insanity.
The affair, the gay affair, I think it was.
No,
Jay, was
not
that the Twinkie defense?
That was the Twinkie defense.
What is that?
He ate too many Twinkies, and the sugar and the chemicals jacked him up and made him act irrationally. They used that in a court of law, and he got off with manslaughter. He only served a few years, and then he either killed himself or died shortly after he got out of
That's not too
jail.
crazy. I ate a box of Milk Duds once and raped a cat.
Watch that documentary again. I forgot all about the Twinkies.
Yeah. Stay away from Snickers, too, dude.
You ate a box of Milk Duds and almost raped a cat.
No, I did it. I raped that cat. That cat had it coming.
Now, Walter, you live in San Francisco, where 1 out of 7 people or 2 out of 7 people is gay. Are you gay?
No, sir.
What's it like there? It must be great because you can go into a bar and the women just, they must be hungry for a real man.
It's about 8 to 1, but it's a lot of lesbian relationships going on too. So
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm sorry too, man.
It's like when flies land on a pile of crap, gnats come right in behind them. Right?
The gnats are from the Dinah Shore Classic, by the way.
They sure are. They sure are. Yes. What can we do for you, Walter? What made you call us?
Well, I was just listening to your show, and I wanted to ask the question. I'm like the rest of the Americans. I'm caught up in some foreclosure things, but I'm living with my girlfriend. I've been living with her for almost 4 years, and she gave me authorization to handle her affairs. And I got the mortgage people to put the mortgage on the back end, and we had to come up with I think it was 8 weeks worth of payroll checks, financial statements, and a letter of hardship. Okay, we did.
For those of you who are wondering why Walter of San Francisco would be asking me this question, many of you don't realize I've moved from 102. Prior to that, I was in 146, 128, 129, 113, and now I'm on 108. I am a licensed realtor and mortgage broker in the state of California and have been doing real estate for 20 years. Go ahead, Walter. I'll help you as quickly as
And a degree in taxes, by the way.
And I have a degree in economics from Johns Hopkins. Go ahead.
But the financial statement, since my girl is on the paperwork and I'm not, she has to turn in her turn in her payroll and everything like that. And it's taking her almost like 8 or 9 weeks to get it done. And I'm trying to figure out what's her problem. You know, we got little ones in the house.
You got a girlfriend of 4 years that you have children with.
Yes.
And they're foreclosing on her?
Yes.
I would leave the house. Is she there now?
Yep.
I would wait till she goes to sleep. I would leave.
Or tell her you're going to get some milk or something.
Never come back.
Just keep
I was just ready to... I was ready to, and I am trucking, but I wanted to bail, man, because, anybody that's sitting here taking this loan to do this, man, and don't have the kids for their best interest, man, I figure I can't stand a chance. So, shit, I might as well get out while I got a chance.
It's quicksand. Exactly. It's quicksand. Pull yourself out. Get out of this.
This isn't a real estate question. This is a real life question.
Yeah.
You should listen, and the kids will be fine. In fact, they'll probably grow up to either be comedians or radio station managers. That's what happens to children who are abandoned. Look, Barack Obama was abandoned by his father. Look at him. Even the fathers that stayed, George Bush's father treated him like crap, right?
Sometimes dads ruin it.
Sometimes if you have a great dad, you're not successful. If your dad sticks around, it's not a good thing. It's a way to toughen these kids up. How old are the kids?
One's 14 and one's 11.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Just take off. Okay?
Yeah, that's...
And your name isn't on any of the papers, is it?
No, it isn't.
See ya.
See you, bye.
Bye-bye. There you go. It's the Jay Thomas Show. Shuli is here. By the way, holiday toys coming. That's right, holiday toys. It's that happy time of the season where you get the presents under the tree, and sometimes your dad leaves during the holidays so that you never forget Christmas. It's Sirius 108 XM 139.
The Jay Thomas Show. Jay Thomas, Stars 2. The curious, the extreme, the fascinating. Jay Thomas is on the new Stars 2, Sirius 108 and XM 139. The new Stars 2, Sirius 108, XM 139. Me and Vinny, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. East, Sirius 6 West. A Me and Vinny replay directly after the show. Maxim Radio with Covino and Rich. Noon to 3 p.m. East, 9 a.m. to noon West. Maxim Radio with Covino and Rich. Replayed from 6 till 9 p.m. East. The Jay Thomas Show. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. East. The Jay Thomas Show. Replayed from 9 till midnight Eastern. The new Stars 2. The new Stars 2. The new Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Is the IRS ruining your life? Are you afraid of losing everything? You can end the despair you feel right now. Get ready to write down an important phone number you're going to need to help solve your IRS nightmare. The number is 800-499-0737.
Hello, I'm John Harris, president of J.K. Harris & Company, the nation's largest tax representation firm. IRS problems have a way of ruining every aspect of your life if you let them. They don't go away on their own. The IRS can attach your wages, your pension, your savings, even your Social Security checks. Over the past decade, the tax team at J.K. Harris has successfully negotiated settlements for our clients, saving them millions of dollars.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, call J.K. Harris at 800-499-0737. You may qualify to dramatically reduce your tax debt. Call 800-499-0737. That's 800-499-0737.
Time's running out. You're maxed out on your credit cards. The collection calls are coming every day, and now you're 2 payments behind on your mortgage. Every time you turn on the radio, there's some cheerful couple telling you how they got out of debt overnight. Their stress is gone, and everything's just wonderful. Come on. The truth is, what sounds too good to be true is too good to be true. You need real help, and you need it now. Not bankruptcy. That should be your last choice. We're Credit Card Relief, and we've been helping people just like you for nearly a decade. We're the only attorney-driven program dedicated to helping you get out of debt in months instead of years, saving you thousands, and without risking your family home. We know what we're doing, and we don't make promises we can't keep. The consultation is free, and the relief is real.
Get out of debt. Call Credit Card Relief at 866-888-9801. Not available in all states. That's Credit Card Relief, 866-888-9801. 866-888-9801.
Jay Thomas. New for afternoons. Jay Thomas. New to 108 and new to XM. Jay Thomas. Jay Thomas. Stars 2. Stars 2. Jay Thomas. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Hey, for everybody that's wondering where some of the moves are, Raw Dog, which is our comedy channel, Shuli, as you know, of course.
Great channel.
And were they always on Sirius 104, Sean, Kelly?
As far as I remember, they
they 104. And they're now on XM 150, which is the new home of XM Comedy over there, so you can do that. And so folks keep saying, well, how do we find out about the new channels and all that? You go to just, Sirius.com or XM.com, right, Sean? And they'll tell you all the new channels and all that. Yeah, it's all there. And, they promised that they would, merge this thing and make it easy for you. Also, incredible deals at Sirius.com or XM.com on, Sirius XM radios. Some that can get both the channels already built in, right, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. There's all kinds of a la carte menus and packages you can pick up. It's a great deal.
Right. And you can have some where you can tape up to 5 hours of shows and then play them back later, in the luxury of your home. And then it's still like, $13 to $16 a month, something like that. So it's a great gift, and the radios, aren't that expensive. And so you have to, just go online, type in, Sirius.com or XM.com and find out. If you go to jthomas.com, and this is for the kids now. My kids, but nonetheless, it's for the kids. Merry Christmas. You got a problem with that? It's a T-shirt, especially if you're in XXX. We have XXX. That's the kind of person that I'd like to see in this shirt. Or hot little chicks wearing it and cut off the bottom of it.
Oh, yeah.
And you wear no bra, and you got the Merry Christmas, got a problem with that, and of course, come to daddy. Come to daddy is the next thing you hear. Lori Schacht. How are you, Lori?
I'm great, Jay. Thanks.
Boy, it's a hard one. You got to be really careful with that name. Schacht. Can you? Shuli is here with me. Shuli, say it. Schacht.
Schacht.
If you were dating Lori and you were introducing me to her, introduce me to Lori real fast. Full name.
Jay, I want you to meet my girlfriend, Lori Schacht.
Your last name is Schacht? That's what I would say to her. Lori. Garrett, say you're introducing me to Lori. Lori, your girlfriend. Go ahead, even though you have too much saliva in your mouth. Go ahead and try it.
What's up, Jay? This is my girlfriend, Lori Schacht.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Winner.
Lori, are you
Yes.
married? Did you marry that name, or is that your
I
maiden name?
married that name.
Poor darling.
Why isn't it shot like yacht?
Well, actually, speaking of yachts, I do have a little boat, and its name is Love Shack.
Oh, you see?
There you go.
The little love shack.
You
All right.
son of a gun.
Now, by the way, the toyinsider.com, we got some really filthy phone calls on that one. That is an unusual website. I guess the first question I want to ask you is on everybody's mind. How many of your employees have been trampled to death from people trying to log on to the website, like at Walmart? Does that happen?
Well, luckily, no one's been trampled to death in our office.
Okay,
but,
good.
Hopefully,
Good.
our website is nice and busy because we have great information for parents.
Okay, all right. We were just talking about the toys that we remember as kids. Shuli, what do you remember as a kid? A
I
special
loved
toy?
the slot car tracks and remote control cars. I loved remote. Me and my brother used to take baby powder. We put it on the floor, and then we'd drive the remote control cars and make them do donuts and burnouts, and it was just awesome.
Are there any remote control cars going on at
There are. Actually,
the toyinsider.com? What would little Shuli get?
One of the hottest things on our list this year, which is also, by the way, under that $25 price point, it's called AirHog Zero Gravity. They're remote control cars, but they defy gravity. They work on the walls and on the ceilings.
That's what I'm talking about.
They
Wait
are
a
so...
second.
What?
When you are from the Toy Insider and you say it works on the floor and the ceiling, you sound naughty. I can tell you that right now.
No, there's nothing naughty about this. This is good, clean fun for children and parents. Let me tell you, we love this in our house.
What is the age on this AirHog Zero Gravity?
They say 8+, and it's not that younger kids won't enjoy it. It's just the cars are very, very light. They're a little bit delicate, so you really need a child who's going to be a little bit more responsible. And you have the remote control. The cars go forward and backwards and 360-degree spins on the walls and on the ceilings, and they really are so cool.
And what parent wouldn't want that? A car on their
I'm
ceiling
telling you,
and
the
wall.
parents want it. They might not let their kids play with it. They're so much fun.
That's true.
Surely, I didn't know what to get you for Christmas, and
Yeah.
I've just done it. Now, Garrett, what is it that you remember from Christmas? A thing, something you'll never forget. Let's see if Laurie Schacht.
Dungeons and Dragons?
No. You see, don't make fun of it. Don't make fun of it. Go ahead.
I remember getting a bike, a mountain bike.
A mountain bike. Do you have any bikes? Laurie, do you have any
Schacht?
bikes?
Do you have any
Miss
bikes?
Laurie Schacht, do you have any bikes?
No, I don't really have any bikes.
Loser.
But
Yeah.
instead of a bike, maybe you want to bring home a dog this year.
Ooh.
Want to talk
dog.
about a dog?
What kind of dog?
You could ride that to
Well,
work, Garrett.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, another one of my favorites is Biscuit. In fact, everyone who I show Biscuit to wants Biscuit, but I have one Biscuit, and I refuse to give Biscuit up. Biscuit
Now, what does
is a-
Biscuit do? What is it? It's a little electronic dog?
Well, it's not so little, actually. Biscuit's pretty big. If I'm standing up, Biscuit comes almost to my waist. Maybe a little bit shorter than that, but Biscuit
Are
is
you over 4'11"? How tall are you?
I am. I'm about 5'4".
No, wait a second. So
yeah, maybe
Biscuit
not my
comes
waist.
up like 2.5
He's
feet.
a good 2.5. He's probably a good 2 feet sitting up.
What does Biscuit do once he gets up there?
Well, Biscuit will sit, he'll lay down, he'll give you his paw, he'll bark. If you pet him, he responds. I mean, he's fabulous. It's like having a real dog, but you don't have to feed him. You don't have to clean up after him. You don't have to board him when you go away. I love
So
it.
you have an electronic pet, is what you've
I
got.
have an electronic pet. And if I
Biscuit.
was if I had him in the room with me, if I wasn't worried about his barking, because he loves to bark at me when I don't
No. I want to hear the bark. Do you have it anywhere
I don't
in the
have
building?
him sit. Well, yeah, but I'd have to put you on hold and go get him.
No, that's fine because
Could
when we
could
go,
you plug your dog in so we could hear him?
yeah, when we go to break, we'll
Okay,
come
then
back.
I'll go get Biscuit, and
I'd love to
I'll-
hear Biscuit. Okay, Sean Kelly, what is it that when you were just a tyke? He lived in Canada, by the way. You were a little boy. What toy was it that you
snowshoes, eh?
Snowshoes that you remember? Was it a
Wait,
floppy
if you're
hat?
up in Canada, let me help you out here. It's
here we
probably
go.
cold in Well, I know it's cold in
freezing
Canada,
cold,
right?
yeah.
So
Yes.
you didn't want to go out so much, and you probably played a lot of games. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Do you remember Monopoly?
Yes.
Did you love Monopoly?
Yes.
Of course you did. And you know what? In America, you got like $500 in Monopoly money. In Canada, you got like $10,000 to start the
but
game because of the
you're right, but not
exchange rate.
anymore
It's
because
an
who knows what
exchange
it's
rate
worth
joke.
these days. But now, forget it. No more cash. Monopoly Here and Now, the World Edition. No Park Place, no Boardwalk. It's cities from around the globe. It's credit cards and electronic banking. How's that for bringing
So
it to the 21st
it's actually
century?
a game made
It's Monopoly, but it's
for these horrifying economic times.
It's actually pretty cool, Jay. You can buy, instead of having like Park Place and Boardwalk, you have Times Square and like, you know.
And an automatic banker.
And an automatic
Automatic
banker. It's actually a
banker.
pretty cool, take on Monopoly, a new take on it.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
very
Go to
cool.
the Toy Insider, INSIDER.com.
Correct.
Laurie Schacht is here with us.
Don't
Boy,
type
you-
in Pocket Rocket because they
I
don't
mean,
sell that on
No,
there.
don't do that. I mean, you must be so glad that Jesus was born because you guys are making out like bandits, aren't you, back there? You think they're ever going to make Allah's birthday a holiday? Because we could double up on this scam, don't you know?
What do you think?
I don't know. Are you going to go get the dog?
I'm going to go get the dog.
Okay. Do you have the new G.I. Joe waterboarding doll? Have you gotten that in yet? Do you have that one? That'd have been a good one.
I have him on order.
Okay, go get the dog. We'll hear the dog and call us with the toy you'll never forget on the Jay Thomas Show at 888-410-102. Laurie Schacht from thetoyinsider.com is here. Shuley is also here. Sean Kelly and Garrett Andritz are producing the show. Art Sears and Andrea Bushy.
The best in entertainment for the whole family is now on Sirius and XM.
Radio Disney is home to High School Musical, Hannah Montana, and the Jonas Brothers. While Kids Plays Live is part Playhouse, part Songfest, and all fun.
Hear great old radio shows like Dragnet and The Twilight Zone on Radio Classic. And catch the world's greatest authors, classic stories, and today's bestsellers on Sirius XM Book Radio.
Everything worth listening to is now on Sirius and XM.
Find out more at Sirius.com and XMRadio.com.
FYE brings you the hottest movies on sale now. Shop FYE and get Wanted, now available on DVD and Blu-ray High Def. Hurry in now to get an exclusive two-sided Wanted poster with your Wanted 2-disc special edition. Now the summer's biggest adrenaline rush is coming home for the holidays. Wanted is the most visually inventive action film of its kind. It's sexy, built to thrill. Angelina Jolie has never looked hotter. James McAvoy simply rocks. And Morgan Freeman elevates Wanted to the next level. And if it's action you want, FYE is the store for you. Shop FYE and get your adrenaline pumping with these great action-packed movies at hot prices. The Bourne Identity, The Bourne Supremacy, The Fast and the Furious, and Too Fast, Too Furious. Pick up Wanted on DVD or Blu-ray High Def and get a free poster with purchase while supplies last. Only at FYE. Movies, music, games, and more action-packed hits on sale now at FYE. Strictly for your entertainment. Visit FYE.com to find a store near you.
Looking to make some cash on unwanted jewelry? Turn to Cash for Gold. That's cash, the number 4, gold. To turn that unwanted gold, silver, and platinum jewelry into cold hard cash. Cash for Gold is a direct refiner of precious metals, which means there's no middleman and you collect more money. Cash for Gold is America's number 1 gold buyer with millions of dollars paid out to thousands of satisfied customers. The process is easy. Request a refiner's return pack. Place your unwanted gold or jewelry in the pack. Send back to Cash for Gold, and they'll send cash within 24 hours of receipt at their facility. The refiner's return pack is absolutely free and insured. Call 1-800-935-4779 or go to cashforgold.com. That's cash, the number 4, gold.com. For the highest payouts on your unwanted gold, silver, or platinum, call now. That's 1-800-935-4779 or cashforgold.com.
The Jay Thomas Show. For idiots, by idiots. Non-stop idiot action. It's the new afternoon show on Stars 2. Jay Thomas on Sirius 108 and XM 139. Stars 2.
We got an email at jthomas.com from Mike Stitt. He said, did you approve those promotional bumpers that they play in between your segments? Idiots, for idiots. Come on. Yeah, Mike, you're an idiot. We're idiots. We approved them.
Not only is he an idiot, I'm an idiot because I was laughing during that promo.
Exactly. Are you kidding? What do you want, not to be an idiot? Okay. Then when it runs, Mike, we're about to have a woman make a mechanical dog bark on the air, Mike. Okay? All right? Let's go back
electronic dog, thank you.
Lori Schacht, thetoyinsider.com. Yes, Lori, did you bring, what's the name of the dog again?
The dog is Biscuit.
Biscuit the dog. Okay.
And hopefully he's going to speak for us now. Speak. He's giving me his paw.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's been barking while we were waiting. He was looking for
so the dog, the mechanical dog kind of acts like a real dog, right? It doesn't do what you want it to do. Okay. Speak.
No. Whoa. There he goes. Did you hear?
Yeah, Lori, I did.
No, and he'll
Lori,
keep
what sort of horrible, what sort of sad shut-in is this dog made for? I mean, is this for people that live in apartments and they can't have a dog for the kids? Is that what it's about? What is it?
Oh, no. He really is. If you're thinking about a dog, like the Obamas are thinking about a dog, and maybe they don't have time to play with him.
You're laughing at your own stuff now,
I think
aren't you,
Biscuit
Lori?
is humping your leg right now, isn't he?
No.
Oh.
He really is. He's a cute, plush, interactive toy who's barking at me right now because
Okay,
he wants
what I
attention.
don't understand is why can't you get it to bark when you want it to?
Well, I can, but you need to. He likes to call me for attention. If I pet him, there's certain points on him, and I'm talking to you.
You rub the electronic dog in certain areas.
I like a lot of the. I like the. See, you hear him crying?
Can you shut your dog up for 2 seconds, lady?
Can you bring the dog to the telephone?
Bring the
him
dog
to the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, bring the dog to the phone.
Well, I just shut him off. Now I'm turning him back on. Okay.
Turn him back on. All right.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
He's on again.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, sounds like a prank call.
Biscuit.
Well,
is it Biscuit? What's its name?
Biscuit.
His name is Biscuit.
Biscuit. Bark, Biscuit, bark.
Bark once if you want to get out of there.
You also have to know his commands. His commands are speak and lay down and beg and things like that.
All right, hold on. All right. Speak, Biscuit, speak.
No, you need to be in front of him. It's not.
Let me try.
What do you mean in front of him?
Put the phone up to his ear. Let me try real quick.
Go ahead.
Speak if she's touching you in a naughty place. What? I wasn't done. All right.
All right, I'm shutting Biscuit off.
All right, there you go. Now, some other toys that we have here from thetoyinsider.com. The Cirque du Soleil Twisterella toy. Is that kind of one of those contortionist type of things?
No, those are really for infants. And that's a wonderful toy. Lots of textures, lots of things for the babies to touch. And it's just a great item. You're looking at a 0 to 2 category. You're always looking in that age for things for them to touch, to look at, that make sounds. And that's
No, they can't see color. It's got to be in black and white. You know that, right?
It depends. This is 9 months and up.
Lori,
So,
I have 6 kids.
You have 6?
I have 6. Children.
I only have 3. You beat me.
Well, they don't. Well, okay. Well, your husband's not. It's quite the man I am. I have 6
Apparently
children.
you guys got a TV.
We went to all of the classes, and up to 2 years old, or up to 1 year old, they only see in black and white.
Okay. I don't.
Don't you defy me? Don't you defy me?
Biscuit, attack.
Attack! No.
Liquor, Biscuit.
Black and white very early, but of course they start seeing color. Black
Now,
and
what is
white
this?
is just when they're very.
I think you're confusing kids with cats.
So basically, what this is, it's also like a stacking toy.
Hold it, Lori, he's right. Lori, it's cats, it's not kids. I made a mistake.
I knew that sounded familiar. I couldn't figure it out.
It's kittens. It's not kids.
Yeah.
And wait a minute, I have 6 cats. I don't have 6. Yeah, did I say kids? I meant cats. Sean, what do I have?
I owe you an apology.
We're so sorry.
Okay, I forgive you.
Now, what about this
and the cats
Club
only see in
Penguin?
black and white, right?
What about this Club Penguin?
Actually, let's talk about Club Penguin. Club Penguin is it's a cyber playground. It's a website, and it's probably one of the most popular websites for the kids these days.
But it's for 3 to 5-year-olds. You don't want to teach them the cyberspace at 3 and 5 years old.
You know, it's interesting that you say that. I have, kids that are now teenagers, but I was always so concerned about them being on the computer. And the point of the matter is, these kids grow up in a world filled with technology. Their school days are filled with the computer. This is how they are living. For us, it all came later in life, but for them, it's what they do. So the question is how they use it.
Laurie, now that you work at the company, thetoyinsider.com, you don't care if other people's children are ruined just so you make a profit. Let's be honest.
No, don't. Well,
Let's be honest.
You have to remember, I'm not a manufacturer, and I don't sell any of these toys.
Yes, you do.
Oh, no, I don't.
You're like a toy crack dealer.
You're a middleman. You're
like making us want it.
Yeah.
You're making these want these.
You're not
toys.
Escobar, but you're the guy who talks to him.
The bright spots of this year's, top toys. But we don't sell any of this. So we just give information on it. We find.
I was told if this interview didn't go well, I could lose my head. Literally, they said I could find my body, and then my head would be in another area of the.
That would be interesting. Could do that? Well, never mind.
So the little kid goes on the internet, sitting in mommy or daddy's lap, and the penguins come on the screen, and then what happens? Now, there's a big controversy. There's a controversy now.
A lot of hoopla.
There's a lot of hoopla. There is this book out there about these 2 male penguins who raise an egg. And a lot of these right-wing, especially like in Kansas, that they don't believe in evolution, and they think that Moses turned a stick into a snake or whatever the hell that is. And so they're saying that these male penguins are gay and they raise the eggs. You have to be very careful. Does this show 2 of the same sex penguins doing anything together?
This is a Disney website.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Just checking.
But what about the penguins named Lance and Brad? That's a little odd, right?
And Club Penguin, by the way, if I was driving down the street and I saw a Club Penguin, no doubt what's in there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
How much is that toy?
The toy is $9.99.
Oh, that's good.
It's
Perfect.
rated at 4+, and really the plush is just a cute little plush, and there's a code on the plush that just unlocks all kinds of other things on the websites. All of the sites, when you deal with any of the online components, are safe sites. The manufacturers spend a fortune making sure that they are safe, that the kids don't go off into cyberland when they're on them. When they're on them, they're locked into this site. So there really shouldn't be any concern for parents.
So you couldn't hit a button and get onto the gay penguin site.
Or end up at club pedophile.
No, that's not going to happen.
Now, do you have any, so far these are pretty harmless toys. Kids like battle things. Danger boys. Do you have things that breaks into a action figure? What is it?
Bakugan is the word of the
Bakugan.
Bakugan.
Isn't that a light chicken gravy?
Well, I don't know why. I'm not even stoned and I'm laughing at that. If we were like together watching a game, that would have made me laugh. But so Bakugan, now that sounds Japanese?
Yes. And
apparently, you know what? No matter how many bombs we dropped on them, they are they are a resilient group of individuals.
The ideas don't stop over there.
They just don't stop.
Well,
now, what does Bakugan mean? What does it mean?
Bakugan. You know what? I have no clue, and that's the point.
Well, you just corrected me, and you have no clue what it means.
I'm telling you how to say it. I'm not telling you what it means, and I'll tell you why I don't know what it means, and that's the whole point. This is sort of like, well, first let me tell you what the game is. It's got this, it's like a plastic ball, but there's something in it that when it rolls over these magnetized cards, they pop open and it reveals the secret warrior. So it's all about boys, okay? From a popular show on Cartoon Network. And each warrior has different powers, and each card has different powers. And there's all these warriors and all these cards, and it's kind of like Pokemon. Other than Pikachu, the adults knew nothing. Bakugan, the adults know nothing. This is all about the kids' world.
What do you mean the adults know nothing? I don't get what you keep saying that like it's a good thing.
Because it is a good, because it.
Could I wake up and these little Bakugan bastards are covering my bed and coming at me?
Yes, but not your kids, and certainly not your cats won't know what they. Actually, the cats.
I don't need any more. You know what? I made a mistake. You don't have to keep bringing it up.
Throw it in his face.
You know, yeah, exactly. Just keep throwing the cat crap in my face. It's a mistake. K and K and C, they make the same sound with the teeth and the tongue, as you know. The same sound. I made a mistake. Jesus.
Okay.
My God.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know you.
You know something? I'll tell you something, Lori. I was having a good time until you did that.
You took a hard left on us there.
I'm glad we're not at a cocktail party during the holidays. And good thing with this economy, there are no cocktail parties, because I would feel badly right now.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Did you want to move on to the next story? You want to still talk about?
Well, for the little girls, the clickables. This is our final little thing. The clickables.
All right. Let's talk about
these
clickables.
click. They just click.
No, actually, this is a brand new technology, and
that would be a really lame toy, Jay.
Hold it a second.
No, it's
you
not
call
a
it the
lame toy.
clickables. They don't click.
Well, they do. They click onto each other.
Well,
It's
hold
the
on a second.
clickable fairy.
I just got an email. I got
What?
to type this guy. No, not clittables, clickables. Sorry, you know. Sorry. Lori
This is
Schacht,
supposed to be rated G.
thetoyinsider.com.
The toy is rated G. This show, we cannot say the same for.
Let's go to Morrow of San Diego, who is a child. Morrow, how old are you?
12. I called in a couple weeks ago, me and my dad, talking about concerts we see.
Nice.
You and your dad go to these heavy metal concerts, don't you?
Yeah.
Who's your
So
favorite?
you're not a normal 12-year-old. What's your favorite
Who's your
concert?
favorite band?
Lamb of God.
Nice. This is great kid right here.
Now, Lori Schacht, this is the kind of child that listens to Sirius Satellite. A child that goes to Lamb of God concerts. Morrow, you've been listening to the Toy Insider lady. What toy would you like? Do you like the little things that roll around? What are they called?
Bakugan.
You like Bakugan?
Yeah, at our school, we don't need any of that stuff. We get these little metal coins called tassos, and then we set two of them down, and then we throw one at the other, and if you flip it over, you get to keep it. And it's kind of like gambling in a sense, and we just play that for break, lunch, and in the beginning of the day, and they're like $1 each for these little things, and that's like all we ever do.
Now, Lori, are you selling the new kitty dice drug set? Are you selling that for these kind of kids?
No.
Did you hear what he liked?
You want me to teach you another cool game?
What's another good game?
This one's called Get Like Me, all right? You take a quarter, you flip it. It lands on heads. The guy next to you has to flip his quarter, and if it lands on heads, he takes your quarter and keeps it. If it lands on tails, you keep his. Get Like Me. Boom. Easy
That's
money.
cool. All right.
Yeah, that's kind of like our game. There's
No, it's not. I listened to you describe your game, and it's totally different. Okay?
You know, Morrow, you're not normal. You're a 12-year-old that smokes dope and goes to concerts. You're not the kind of child. Yes, you do.
No, I have
Yes,
A+s
you do.
in every class. I finish homework early so I can go to concerts.
What's your favorite Lamb song, bro? What are you, a poser? Are you a poser?
No, it's hard because there's so many songs. I'll have to say Redneck.
All right, I'll let this
Now,
one slide.
Laurie, before we go, Morrow, stay
Yes.
right there. It says here there's a Toy Insider sweepstakes
There
that
is.
Laurie
There's a
will
sweepstakes
announce. Go ahead. And what do you win if you win the sweepstakes?
You win a room full of toys. I believe our sweepstakes closed on the 1st, but I would give it a try anyway.
Wait
Let's
a
see if
second.
it'll-
Wait a second. You
Hang
come
on.
on 2 days after the sweepstakes have closed.
Well, you should have invited me on a little.
Well, I didn't. I'm not aware of this. But anyway. All right, well, boy, Laurie, I'll tell you what. This started really good. And then the little boy calls up. So, Morrow, are you a normal 12-year-old kid or you're abnormal with the rock and roll thing?
I'm not very normal. I'm into a lot of stuff that's designed for older kids.
Yeah, I can see this kid marching to his own drum. He's definitely not a follower. He does.
Would
his own
you
thing.
like the little machine that goes, what's the name of that? The Air Hog Zero Gravity. Would you like that? Goes all over the room and on the ceiling, Morrow. Would you play with that?
Yeah, because it's zero gravity. You don't see that thing every day. You just drive around walls and stuff.
Let me try something, Jay. Let me try something.
Yeah,
Hey,
sure.
Mara, would you like that remote control car, or maybe, I don't know, set of drumsticks from Chris Adler, drummer of Lamb of God?
The drumsticks I'd have to go yes for.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Well, Laurie Shack, thank you. Everybody out there, these toys, by the way, are like, I believe, under $30.
And by the way,
Laurie?
Morrow, if you want those drumsticks, go on eBay.
All right.
That's where they're
Laurie Shack, thetoyinsider.com. Laurie, thank you very, very much.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
Hard for a Jew to say that, isn't it, Laurie?
Not at all.
All right, we'll see you later. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Hey, Mara, what are you getting for are you getting for Christmas? What are you going to get?
Yeah.
Well, a couple of months ago, last month, I got an Xbox, so probably this Christmas I'm getting an Xbox and manga.
Do you have the new Call of Duty?
I wish, but my dad says no.
He won't let you play that? Oh.
Would you get the G.I. Joe waterboarding doll? Would you get that if it was available?
Oh.
Where you actually have G.I. Joe has an insurgent strapped to a plastic. What it is, it's a tongue depressor, and the little doll is and then it's on a little fulcrum kind of a thing, and you put it into the water. It's from the same company that makes that ridiculous bird whose beak goes in the water on people's desks.
Yeah.
You ever see that little bird that does that? Yeah, it's the same one. The G.I. Joe waterboard doll. Would you buy that?
No, I'm into video games more.
Okay. All right.
Well, Mara, listen, when you get the new Call of Duty, you call back to the show, leave your gamer tag, and I'll hit you up online. We'll play a little bit online.
All right.
Hey, Morrow. If he asks you to play against him with your pants down, I would hang up. Okay.
You like ice cream, Morrow?
I got to tell you. I can't remember inviting a 12-year-old to play a game except one of my relatives.
What about your dad?
Yes.
So my dad kicked me off of Call of Duty 2 because there was a character on there named Major Dick Puller.
Major Dick Puller.
I didn't even know that.
No, was it somebody playing against you, or there's a character in the game named Major Dick Puller?
No, playing against me on.
Major Dick Puller was playing against the 12-year-old
It's so funny.
kid.
You throw those headsets on, and it's just dudes yelling at each other and cursing.
Oh,
and
my kids are in the room screaming and yelling. Oh yeah, with the headsets.
So funny.
What is your screen name when you're playing Call of Duty?
Well, on Halo 3 and Xbox 5, I'm Zombie Llama, Z0OMBIE Llama.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And then what are you on Call of Duty?
When I had Call of Duty, my dad got so sick of me playing, he just snapped it up and threw it away, but I was Private Randall.
Private Randall. Nice.
Now, when he snapped it up, did he literally pull the game out of the wall and toss it in the trash or give it to a poor child?
Yeah, he tossed it in the trash. He was sick of it.
In front of you?
Yep.
Wow. Well, that's a memory
That's
that'll
a little
never
harsh,
leave you.
huh?
Morrow, you know what? You have a memory that will never leave you. You'll never forget the day that your dad came in and threw a toy that you loved, right? You were obsessed with it, right?
Well, yeah, but then a couple weeks later, he gets me Halo, so...
Yeah, but
You think
it's
he
still
felt
not
badly?
the same, though. I mean, it's not the same, right?
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah. Well,
I tell you what. Like,
welcome
if you
to the
have
world
trouble,
of the scarred, my friend.
Let's say when you're 18 or 19 and you're hooked on drugs or something, and your dad comes in and goes, "Was it something I did?" You go, "Dad,
Call of Duty.
Remember when you threw Call of Duty?" I want you to say it right now. I want you to say it.
Practice
say,
it.
"Dad," and pause. "Remember when you threw my Call of Duty in the trash?" Just say it.
Remember when he threw my Call of Duty in the trash?
That's it.
And then you say, "That's why I'm on smack."
That's
dude.
why I'm smacked up.
Yeah, like that'll ever happen.
Hey, you're a good
All
kid,
right.
man.
Thank you. Sean Kelly, let's give Morrow one of our Merry Christmas. Got a problem with that T-shirts for being a kid and listening to the Jay Thomas Show.
I wanted to ask him what he thought about that 9-year-old kid who wrote a book on how to pick up women. Did this kid know about that? And does he have any tips?
I haven't heard of this kid.
Oh, it got published. It's like some 9-year-old kid. He's been on all the news channels. He put out a book on how to talk to women. And they published this thing for real.
You know, I saw that come across, it was offered to me. And I thought it was one kind of creepy, but I guess we should try and get him on. But don't you think it's a gimmick?
I mean, yeah, it has to be, has to be written by somebody else, and then, they just throw this kid's face out there.
Right.
Well, he probably edited it or something.
I don't even think he did that. Like, what's the 9-year-old?
You think the 9-year-old edited it?
Well, I don't know. There's always stuff that he could add. I mean, there's
Garrett, go online and find out what the 9-year-old advice is on finding women.
It's
Okay,
really.
we'll find that out. Put Morrow on hold for just one moment while we're looking for that. Phones are lit up since we had the toy lady on. Richard of Miami, the Jay Thomas Show with Shuli. Yes, Richard, how are you? Richard? Richard of Miami?
Yeah, hello, Jay, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, those toys suck, man.
Okay, great. Let's go back to Morrow of San Diego.
All right.
Yeah, have you found it yet, Garrett? What's the little 9-year-old say about picking up women? What do you do when you hear the kind of adult stuff on this show, Morrow? Are you allowed to listen to it?
Yeah. I listen to Howard Stern in the morning, too.
He lets you listen to Howard, but he won't let you play Call of Duty. That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Morrow, if we find this 9-year-old kid's girl advice, do you have a girlfriend?
No.
No. Do you like girls?
Yeah, well, kind of. But in middle school, I'm worrying more about grades and stuff.
Right.
But what about if you told some little girl you'd take her to see, what is it, Lamb of God?
Yeah, well, usually it's just me and my dad going because we get, right up in front.
You know something? If you replaced a girl with your dad, you'd have a better time. You'd have a much better time.
Yeah, but it's hard to find a girl that would replace my dad.
And you know what? Let me tell you something.
No, it isn't.
Matter what.
Have you ever watched that Ellen show?
No matter what.
I don't have cable.
No matter what. No matter what girl you find, she'll end up throwing your video game out one day,
That's
too.
exactly
Take it from me.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right.
probably.
All right, Morrow from San Diego. Hold on. You've got a Jay Thomas. Merry Christmas. You got a problem with that
info
T-shirt.
about the book.
You do? All right. I tell you what. We're going to go away and come back with 9-year-old kid has written a book about how to pick up women. Plus, Shuli, Michael Bader coming up.
Sweet.
He's written Male Sexuality. Why women don't understand it.
Yeah.
And men don't either.
What?
It is, he's got empty balls, full stomach. He's got that in there. It'll be a whole discussion about male sexuality coming up on the Jay Thomas Show. We'll be back with the 9-year-old kids' ideas on dating. Morrow, our 12-year-old from San Diego, is with us, and so is Shuli. And it's all on this magnificent thing that we call the Jay Thomas Show.
Society's oddities played like a fiddle. The Jay Thomas Show, the new afternoon show on Stars 2, Sirius 108 and XM 139. On Stars 2, the new morning show is Me and Vinny with Vinny Politan.
Coming up Thursday on Me and Vinny, no Vinny, but you'll be there, and Michael Billy will be there too. And guess what? He'll have from Howard 100 News, High-Pitched Mike, who has now come out of the closet, and he's on the Me and Vinny show. Also, celebrity hairstylist Diane Schmidtke will have some hairstyle tips with Michael Billy. All that, Me and Vinny.
Me and Vinny, where the me is you. Me and Vinny. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. East. It's the new morning show on Stars 2, Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Open my inbox, please, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What's the problem, Hal?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about, Hal?
Your inbox is full of spam, Dave. I told you we needed Exchange hosting from AppRiver. Our email system is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it. I advise you switch to AppRiver's secure hosted Exchange right now, Dave.
We'll contact our computer consultants and have them switch us over to AppRiver immediately, Hal.
AppRiver, unlimited storage, premium spam and virus protection, and the only optimized network for your mobile devices.
Dave, it seems that strange beings are watching over us now.
Those are just the nerds from AppRiver, Hal.
That's messaging experts.
Get your free 30-day trial of AppRiver's secured host exchange at appriver.com. That's APPriver.com.
I'm home.
Father, you're back. Did Mr. Scrooge give you a raise?
No, but I did get some extra cash from PaydayMax.com. Now we can stuff ourselves with a Christmas dinner.
Oh boy, a real Christmas dinner. I can't believe it.
Stuff yourself this holiday season with a cash advance from PaydayMax.com. Low fees, easy application. Apply online at PaydayMax.com or call 1-866-850-0363.
It'll be a Christmas to remember.
Is Progressive.com an auto insurance utopia? Well, let's see. Progressive is more than just cascading waterfalls and lush green gardens. It's all your auto insurance wants and needs, like the chance to save hundreds and the fact that we're there for you 24/7 to answer any questions. And they're not answered by magical nymphs, but by licensed agents, which is nice. Start saving today at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. That's Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company's affiliates, Mayfield, Village, Ohio. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Jay Thomas Show. Every day something new, something bizarre. For you, for now. The new afternoon show on Stars 2, Sirius 108 and XM 139.
San Diego, 12 years old, redneck, Lamb of God. Put it up, put it up. Up front, his dad gets up front seats.
The cool family.
Pick people. Well, he never mentions his mother.
No.
I wonder how many tattoos Lamaro has. Tattoos all over. You know,
I've seen these guys live twice, Jay, and it is pandemonium. They have a thing at the last song they play at every show that they do. There's a known thing that all the fans know. It's called the Wall of Death. And if you go on YouTube and type in Wall of Death, you'll see what this is. Basically, right before the song starts, they split the crowd down the middle in half, meaning people go to the right side and the left side of the concert hall, and there's a huge open gap in the middle. And what they do is they count off 1, 2, 3, 4, and both sides, like Braveheart, charge each other full speed.
In the auditorium, in the venue?
Yeah, and they just fucking run into each other full speed to start the song off. And their fans do this. And, I mean, it's like a sea of people crashing into each other. It's insanity.
You know, if I was a rock star and could get people to do stuff, I would do the same. I would have them all, like, run to the back of the room, I'd have them do it all.
I'm up top from the balcony watching this. It's amazing. I'm like, I wouldn't be an idiot doing this. Listen to this right here. Listen to this. This is when it gets crazy. Somebody's getting a ticket right now driving, I guarantee it.
Impossible not to beat the crap out of your steering wheel when you're listening to Lamb of God.
Oh, my God.
Now, what's funny is my 18-year-old loves this stuff. He is a total, like a metalhead. He loves it. But what is he saying? What is he saying? What is he, it's hard for me to understand what he's saying.
It's tough. This is a motherfucking invitation.
No, does he play the guitar too? Does he play the lead?
No. Another cool thing they do, this guy, the singer, he doesn't do sound checks with the band before the show because he doesn't want to blow out his voice screaming at a sound check. So what they do is they invite fans to come down to their sound checks, and they let fans come up and do the lead singer part while the whole band runs through their sound check.
Now, you see, who's the lead singer? What's his name?
Randy Blythe, I believe, is the name of the lead singer.
You know why Randy does that? Because the show is for the people.
He absolutely.
Yeah. He's got this show. Wow. I remember when I was 12, I asked my dad, if I could go to a concert, please, Dad, please take me to see Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
You begged to go see Frankie Valli?
Oh, of course. And my dad said, "What, you want to turn into a greasy Italian? You're not going to that crap. Are you nuts? Those sick, what are you, sick? Oh, Dad, please."
12-year-old kid in a gauze suit wanting to go see Frankie Valli.
You want to sing like a girl, huh? Get in your room.
Walk like a man away from that concert.
Right.
Big fruit.
All right. Hey, by the way, the Jay Thomas Show is on Sirius 108 now on XM 139, formerly on 102. Shuley can be heard on Howard 100 News, and then on Friday mornings we take over Howard 101 early in the morning and do that. But then I have my 70s show on 7.
I've been listening to the 70s channel a lot lately.
Well, we have asked people to call us, and we have asked people to email us at jthomas.com, and I think you can also do it to 70s at Sirius.com. A lot of people remember me from Charlotte, North Carolina, Jacksonville, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Chicago, Illinois. I was a disc jockey in all these towns. Los Angeles, New York City, Pensacola, Panama City, Florida. Good God, I was everywhere. Sean, where were you a disc jockey back then? Name the towns. Name them.
When? In the 70s?
Yeah, what towns were you in?
Calgary, Alberta, Lethbridge, Alberta, Kamloops, British Columbia.
You had to actually say, boom, you're listening to Kamloops Most Music Station. Kamloops?
Kamloops.
Kamloops. Boom, you're listening to Kamloops Most Interesting. Like, you had to do that? Kamloops.
Yeah, exactly.
JC55. Kamloops, Ontario. Wow.
Fruit Loops.
Cool. British Columbia.
Close. And did you work in Toronto at Chum?
No, I never worked at Chum, no.
Chum in Toronto. Is there a Chud? No, that's a movie I did.
There's a Chab.
There's a Chab?
Yeah, in Moose Jaw.
I knew a Chad in Vegas.
Well, what's funny is that, and I think do we have that phone call, Garrett, that we got from a listener? I played Peter Frampton, who we're always getting requests for, and I kept, he's only had one song, but surely they never discussed what the songs meant. And this is what is it? I'm in you, right?
Correct.
Is that it?
Yep.
I'm in you.
Wow.
We played it, we talked about it, but no one ever said, hey, that means I'm in you.
Yeah.
I'm in you, right?
It's like toyinsider.com.
Right. So I introduced the song going, this is Peter Frampton, I'm in you. What do you think he meant by that? And I said it over and over again. I'm in you, I'm in you, I'm in you, I'm in you. And this is the phone call we got at corporate headquarters at Sirius 7. Go ahead.
How about this Peter fucking Frampton song, Jay? When he says, I'm in you. You know what that really means? He's fucking in you. He's in that bitch fucking her. Just like Indecent. You know what that means, don't you, Jay?
Garrett, stop it. Start it over again. I couldn't hear it.
Peter fucking Frampton song, Jay. When he says, I'm in you. You know what that really means? He's fucking in you. He's in that bitch fucking her. Just like Indecent. You know what that means, don't you, Jay? You know it, don't you? It's because you're in long and hard. You're in fucking decent. You knew that, Jay, didn't you? You said it, Jay. You son of a bitch cocksucker. You said it. You're the fucking man, Jay. You are the fucking man. I will not fucking listen to nobody but Jay fucking Thomas. He's a...
There you go. That's from Sirius 7. The 70s on 7. That's our normal listener, by the way.
I was actually scared during that voicemail, as if that person was across from me yelling.
There you go. All right. To show you that, we got some listeners over there.
Think that guy played Bugoggin ever as a kid?
I have been following, and I just keep being amazed by the story coming out of the New York Giants of Plaxico Burress. And the Giants had to make a statement and everything else, and he shot himself through the leg.
Yeah.
And they say he's in good spirits. He's not limping or anything. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
He doesn't. Garrett, he shot himself, but he doesn't seem to have any pain from the thing.
That's what I've noticed too. Yeah.
Flesh wound.
Had to be a graze.
What he was doing was, there's a woman that says that he was adjusting the gun in his waist.
Yeah, well, apparently he thought he was the new sheriff in town, decided to walk in.
And the gun went off and went through the back of his leg. I had a guy working for me, a construction guy, when we first went back into New Orleans after the hurricane, and he carried a 45 that had two believe it or not, 2 safeties on it, an old one. And he had both safeties on, and the damn thing went off when he got out of the truck, and it blew a hole in the back of his leg, too.
Wow.
But it must just go through, and he was fine. He was back at work in like a couple of days. So now they're asking, why do these players have to carry guns? And this is going to be his defense. The Washington Redskins safety, Sean Taylor, was murdered in a home invasion in Miami. Do you remember this?
Sure.
Julie? The guy was killed. They shot him in the crotch, by the way.
Right.
And it hit that
artery.
What's that big artery down there, Sean? What is that?
The Vesuvius.
The dick vein.
Femoral.
Garrett Andrews, you're correct. When you love a quiz show where the idiots go, Dick Vein. Volcano artery.
Julie, what's the name of that artery? Something with a U? Wrong.
Right. So he got shot. Then this poor Jacksonville Jaguar offensive lineman got shot, lost his leg, and he's paralyzed.
I think with the Sean Taylor, though, there was a previous incident with him and the people that showed up at his house as well.
With all of them, there's a previous incident.
That's
the guy
the
in
thing.
Jacksonville.
Right. Like these guys, you never hear of Tony Romo getting his house broken into and home invasion robbery. A lot of time, these guys put themselves in a position where the scum of the earth is there, and as soon as they see them rolling with their money and their cars, then they're going to come after you. They're going to try and get a piece of it.
Oakland Raiders receiver Javon Walker was in a nightclub until like 3 o'clock in the morning in Vegas. And of course, money, jewelry, bling bling all over the place. He was walking home and he was beaten senseless.
Yeah, he was out. Metro PD in Vegas found him unconscious on the strip.
Right, out like a light.
Yep.
The New York Giants receiver, now this is the best one. Steve Smith was robbed at gunpoint by a limousine driver that he paid to drive him safely home to his Long Island suburban community. Now, what limo is that? Like what? Kick-ass limo? What is that? Like felony limo? What limo hires a guy that? And they know who the guy is, who pistol whips the passenger and robs him,
I thought he was legitimate. I found his business on Craigslist. I thought
Robbo Limo. Welcome. Hello, Robbo Limo. Robbo Limo, can I help you?
Hi, Mug a Limo.
So that's why he has the gun for protection. That's going to be... he can get it up to 3.5 years, by the way. And in New York State, because of all the crime and everything in New York, they have the law is pretty strict.
Bloomberg is a nut when it comes to gun control.
Isn't there a sign up that says carry it's during what is it? Carry an unlicensed gun, go to jail. Doesn't it say that?
There's
a big sign up there right next to Ashley, Ashley Madison, right next to Ashley Madison, and the affair of your life.
Was it true
right?
he was wearing sweatpants?
I believe
at the club.
That's what I heard too.
How did you get a gun to hold into your sweatpants?
Well, obviously you don't do a good job when you shoot yourself in the leg. It didn't hold. And the thing is, let's be honest. These guys can bring that party to their house. They have.
It's 1:30 in the morning when he gets to the club. Last call, no matter where you are, is going to be 2 o'clock.
They have a house big enough to accommodate all these people that are at the club. All you got to do is send a couple.
Have you seen MTV's Cribs?
Yeah.
Okay.
All you got to do is
seen it?
Send a couple of your boys to a club. Say, ladies, Plaxico Burris is having a party at his house. Who wants to go?
Yeah.
You'll find idiots. You'll find idiots that'll come, and you bring the party to you. I mean, what the hell? Kurt Warner doesn't need to carry a gun when he goes out?
No. He's a born-again Christian. No. Mm-mm. You leave the house, you go like this. Got condoms, got my money, got my bling-bling, got my Viagra, got my bullets. Yeah. Can you imagine leaving the house and when you go to a comedy club, do you carry a gun with you before you perform, Shuli?
Only once, and that was because I was performing in North Las Vegas. It was a rough part of town. No, of course. I mean, unless your job is a cop, there's no reason you should be bringing a gun.
Why would you have a gun? Then you shoot yourself in the leg.
And it's so fitting. Like, seriously, I wished he would have gotten more seriously hurt from it and possibly ended his career because of it. Would have been great.
The doctor has been suspended. The doctor was his personal physician who came to a hospital where he's not registered. He put in a phony name. They put in Wyatt Earp. They put Wyatt Earp in as his name, which is
Yosemite
always
Sam.
bad. You know what? Sammy Scarface was put in there, and they've already suspended this doctor. He may lose his medical license because he didn't call. You have to call the cops after any gunshot. Mark of Maryland, the Jay Thomas Show with Shuley. Yes, Mark, how are you? What can we do for you?
Hey, what's happening? You know what happened, Jay?
What?
That the bullet corrected his walk. He used to walk like the pimp in Starsky and Hutch, and now he's walking like a white guy.
Hey, would you like to do 5 minutes at Caroline's?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready.
December the 18th.
All right, December 28th. Make sure you're there. 8 p.m.
We'll put you.
Love you all.
All right, buddy.
All right, thank you very much. That poor Mark. Let's go to Oscar of Los Angeles, the guy whose mother told him it was funny, and he never forgot it. Oscar of Los Angeles. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Oscar.
Hey, Jay, how's it going? Yeah, they said on the radio it was a mandatory 3 years for carrying a gun in New York City.
Unlicensed. Yeah, unlicensed hidden weapon. Yeah.
Unlicensed, you know what I mean? Because L.A., man, there's shootings all the time here. A long time ago, I pulled a gun on somebody. Back in a long time ago, just pointed it at somebody, and it was only 3 months in jail.
Well, who did you point the gun at?
Some people in Chuck E. Cheese, they beat me up.
I see.
Were they real people or the animatronic people? Like
no, wait a minute.
Chucky didn't beat you, did he?
Wait a second. Oh, how'd you like to pull the gun and one of the animals hits you on the arm? They go up and down. Did
they take those mallets from the whack-a-mole game and start coming
Oscar,
at you?
were you at a relative's birthday party and you whip a gun out during the Chuck E. Cheese event?
Chuck E. Cheese is a place of happiness. What happened?
No, actually, you want to know what's funny?
What is funny?
I was actually there because I used to go there with my girlfriend and watch. First, I would watch Family Ties, and then Cheers came on right after Family Ties.
Right.
And I would watch those shows and get a pitcher of beer, and all of a sudden, some guy who stood in front of the TV, I didn't say nothing. He just goes, "What you looking at?" And I said, "Nothing, man. What the fuck you looking at?" And then I punched him, and all of a sudden, the whole place got up, man. He was with some gang. All of them got up, and they just threw me out of the place. They beat me up and threw me out. So I went back to my apartment and got, like, a rifle I had. But I had no bullets. I couldn't find no bullets, so I went back and I just pointed it at him. And it was funny.
Wait a second. Wait, you pointed an unloaded rifle at a bunch of gang members at a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes.
Did you think for 1 minute that maybe the gang members might have had loaded guns on their person while you were walking in with the unloaded rifle?
I had a few pitchers of beer.
Any chance that the gang that was surrounding you were actually waiters asking you what you want to eat?
So they were, you know where Sun Valley is over by San Fernando Road? And
I do. Yeah, we both do. Sure, we know that area.
It was that Chuck E. Cheese right there. There used to be a Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know if it's still there.
Were you a gangbanger back in the day?
No, man, I really wasn't, for real. I was just minding my own business, but I got so mad that they beat me up.
Right.
And I went back and I didn't have no bullets, but just for that they call it brand. You know what? I'm lucky, really, because the cops came.
Yeah.
And they just shot some guy around the corner, and they were all happy about it. And then I'm sitting there in the parking lot with a rifle, and they didn't shoot me, man. I mean, think about it. They probably could have just shot me, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Sean? I think that Oscar of Los Angeles gets a Merry Christmas. You got a problem with that T-shirt.
One of the best stories I've heard in a long time.
Let's hear it for Oscar of Los Angeles.
And a great job of telling it, too, Oscar.
An empty rifle. He pulled an empty rifle at a Chuck E. Cheese in the middle of a happy... what is that Mexican thing when the little girl is like 15 or 16? What is that called?
Quinceañera.
The what's that?
Quinceañera.
Yeah, the quinceañera. Probably somebody's quinceañera, and you pull them up and they beat you almost to death. Oscar, thank you very much. Hold on to get your gift. And before we go to the sex guy, male sexuality, why women don't understand it and men don't either. Richard of Alabama. It's the Jay Thomas Show on our brand new channel, 102 XM 139. Yeah.
What's up, son?
Go ahead.
What's up, kid?
Yo.
What's up, Richard?
What's going on, Shuley, Garrett?
Yo.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Chilling like Gilligan on the island.
I'm gonna get you. Oh, yeah, spread your cheeks, baby. Spread that ass for me, baby.
Spread that ass for me, bitch.
Yeah, I got to stop watching BET.
Pull your gun. Make me act like Mexico.
I've been actually watching American Gangster on BET. Thing Ving Rhames narrates.
Yeah, that's pretty good, ain't it?
It is. It's a very good show.
Spread your burris.
Richard, what do you think? First of all,
so much.
What you listen to the show all the time, and you comment. I always ask people, what are you going to take away from this show that you've heard up to this point?
I thought it was good advice and honest advice that guy who's with the woman with 2 kids and trying to get a house refinanced and everything, and she's being all lackadaisical about it. No other show would have told that guy what you told him to do. And that was
leave.
Get the hell out of that scene. You're right, and you're absolutely right. Because unknown to America, there's a lot of decent-hearted guys with hard dicks that find these nice girls that are crazy, they're fucked up, but they're good in bed. And that's why these guys stay.
Now here's the thing, though. Did your dad abandon your family? Did your father?
No. Oh, hell no. My dad was a straight-up guy, man,
Okay.
He was a, preacher, all that good shit.
All right. Do you think you're as successful as you would have been had your father left you?
Oh, no, I know I would have been more successful if I had not been doted on so much by my parents.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. My parents loved me. My dad was home every night for dinner. Surely, your dad, didn't he take good care of you and your brother and your family? And was
in
there all
between
the time?
beatings, he was a great
Did he
guy.
beat you?
No, never.
No.
My parents never. My mom swung at me once when she found out I was dating a black girl.
Right.
And,
I can't see that.
Right.
Wait a second. Your mother took a swing at you because you were dating a black woman, and you said that with Richard on the phone. You don't feel any remorse for saying that in front of a huge black man?
Well, that's his mother's fault. That's not his fault.
Exactly. That's why I punched her back.
there you go.
No, I'm kidding. I
gave it to her good.
She telegraphed it. Like, she swung from Mississippi. Like, I saw it coming a week before it hit me, so I just kind of ducked and let her
So,
shot.
Richard,
some kind of respect,
you were a little black boy in Alabama. What was the gift? You know what, Garrett? When I'm telling a story and I'm describing a human being, I don't need the laughter in the background.
It's Afro-American, Jay?
Or whatever he is. He's an Afro-American. You're this little dark-skinned person from another land. And what toy do you remember that you were given as a child that you'll never forget as long as you live?
G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip and my Johnny Lightning helmet.
There you go. And you ran around the house with the whole thing, didn't you?
Fucking right. And the James Bond 007 briefcase and a Combat lunchbox. Remember Combat, the TV show?
Absolutely, I do, with Vic Morrow.
There you go. Yeah, the man's man. Vic Morrow.
You know what happened to Vic Morrow, don't you?
Twilight Zone fucked him up.
John Landis, who allegedly the whole group was like doing blow, or they were all completely loaded. They kept telling him to bring the helicopters in this Vietnam movie lower and lower. Yeah. And the guys in the helicopter said, you're going too low. And they had the little Vietnamese kids there, and it was against the law. They had them working late at night, right?
Night. Yeah.
They brought the damn helicopter surely too low. It chopped Vic Morrow's head off.
Mm-hmm.
Did it kill the 2 little children?
Yeah, they got pretty fucked up, man.
Yeah, it killed.
And John Landis, the director, who I think he did Animal House, he didn't do a day in jail. He did not do a day in jail.
It pissed Eddie Murphy off so much. Eddie Murphy said Vic Morrow would do a job with John Landis before he would. And that shit had just happened. I was like, damn, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's right.
But they kept the circumstances kind of secret, though, man, until they went to court,
No, he got off completely, scot-free. All right. All right, Richard of Alabama, we have a man coming on talking about male sexuality.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What's his problem?
No, he's written a book about it. He's trying to help people.
What's his problem?
So do you want to stay with...
How write books don't get pussy? You ever notice that shit, Jay? These assholes write these books and they never get laid, or they've been married for 30 years.
I think
Richard same woman.
I think Richard should call back with that question.
Well, no, hold on. Richard, stay right there. Michael Bader. He even has a name that sounds like he doesn't get laid. Has anybody here fucked Michael Bader? No, I don't think so.
Mr. Bader?
Mr. Bader?
Mr. Bader, nice.
When he was
boy.
a kid,
Masturbator.
Nice.
Masturbator. It's the Jay Thomas Show with Shuley and Richard of Alabama. And male sexuality. Women don't understand it, and men don't either. It's Sirius 108 XM 139.
Jay Thomas. Jay Thomas Show. The afternoon drive show on the new Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139. The new Stars 2. Sirius 108 XM 139. Ian Vinny. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. East. Sirius 6 West. Maxim Radio with Covino and Rich. Maxim Radio. Noon to 3 p.m. East. 9 a.m. to noon West. The Jay Thomas Show. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. East. Noon to 3 West. All shows replayed throughout the day. The new Stars 2. The new Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
My name is Manny. I have 3 tattoos. One of them, I regret. The wrecking balm faded it away. It really worked.
I'm Gavin. Got a tattoo on my forearm, and it was the biggest mistake of my career. Thanks to this product, Wrecking Balm, I was able to remove it without the expensive laser treatment.
Hi, my name is Lindsay. I tattooed the name of my ex on my arm. Wrecking Balm works. Look, you can't see it. My ex is finally history.
I'm Will. I was able to redesign one of my tattoos because of Wrecking Balm. It doesn't sting, no burning. It's fast. I would recommend this product to anyone who's thinking of getting rid of their tattoo.
Finally, tattoo removal in the privacy of your own home with an FDA-approved removal device. Wrecking Balm, the devastatingly effective tattoo removal system. It's fast, it's easy, it works.
Call right now for your in-home 60-day risk-free trial of Wrecking Balm at 1-800-667-4534. That's 1-800-667-4534. Fade your tattoo now by calling 1-800-667-4534. That's 1-800-667-4534.
Gentlemen, this message is for you if you're using either Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra, or perhaps you never have, and it's about time. ClassicTabs.com now has all 5 performance enhancers, Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and 2 new fast-acting tablets that melt under the tongue. Both start to work in as little as 15 minutes. You choose. Go online to ClassicTabs.com or give us a call at 1-800-640-7032. Your prescription will be filled by a U.S. licensed physician, delivered overnight in a privacy envelope right to your door. Now there are 5 male enhancers to choose from. Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and 2 new fast-acting tablets that melt under the tongue. Your decision, your choice. It's that simple. That's ClassicTabs.com, ClassicTabs.com, or call 1-800-640-7032. ClassicTabs.com.
The Jay Thomas Show. Jay Thomas. Stars 2. The curious. The extreme. The fascinating. Jay Thomas is on the new Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
However, accusations like the press till you realize that you've dressed yourself in time. Because the man's needs a fire of greed, a fire of greed. A man's needs a war stormy. A man's needs.
Hey, the Cribs on the Jay Thomas Show with Shuley. To find out where Shuley will be performing, go to Jew Gone Wild, or I guess, is it RevBobLevy.com?
Rev Bob Levy. We're
right?
December 12th in Voorhees, New Jersey, and 13th in Baltimore, Maryland. And go to RevBobLevy.com.
December 18th, an evening with Jay Thomas and friends at Caroline's right there on Broadway, the famous comedy club. Shuley will be headlining that night. Rodney Lee Conover will do a set, along with Twitchell's.
Louis Santani.
Louis Santani. Is that Twitchell's?
That's Twitchell's. Been on Tonight Show with Jay Leno, MTV's True Life.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a friend of mine, but I'll meet him soon. And so I guess go to Ticketmaster, Sean Kelly, or Caroline's to get your tickets for December the 18th.
All of those things.
If you work at Sirius or XM and you show your employee
badge,
you get in for half price.
That's right.
Get in for half price. There you go. Let's go to Michael Bader. Michael, go to michaelbader.com. Male sexuality, why women don't understand it and men don't either. Michael, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good to be here.
Thank you. Now this is I'm married 20 years now, and it's always difficult, isn't it? It's like it just seems like the sex just kind of like dissipates and goes someplace, and you kind of don't even know what to do anymore. And the wife, usually the woman, is it mostly the woman loses interest in sex?
No,
and
it can be either way. I think the stereotype is that the woman loses interest before the man, but there's a natural tendency in relationships, and it's no newsflash to anybody that there's a natural tendency for sexual intensity to decline, with lots of individual variation there. But you might say that kind of, like monogamy in a sense is bad for sex, but it's good for intimacy. It's like what it takes away in terms of sexual intensity for some people, maybe many people, it compensates by the degree of familiarity and intimacy you have. But in a way, it's difficult to have both and to maintain both at a high level.
By the way, if you're having some sort of intimacy problems, you can call us at 888-4-102-102. It's the Jay Thomas Show with Shuli at Sirius 108, XM 139. Let's go to Richard of Alabama. Richard, the Jay Thomas Show. Are you having some sort of sexual intimacy problems there? And how long are you married, Richard?
No, I'm currently married now, but I've been with the same woman for quite a while, and the same woman in both states for quite a while.
Now, wait a minute. Excuse me a second, Michael, when I say this. Why aren't you married to this woman? I don't quite... So you're just with this woman and you're never going to marry her? She doesn't demand that you marry her?
I can't.
Is that something in the black community that is accepted? Because it's not accepted in the mostly white communities.
Well, where do you think I learned that shit from? Shit, just like I learned everything else in school. I went to school with white people. I live with white people. I date white people. I date black people. I'm a people person. I truly am.
All right.
But yeah,
Michael, I tried to get controversial there and it failed. Failed.
Didn't work, really.
It didn't work at all, did it, Michael? No, it didn't. You ought to write a book about how announcers who try to get, controversial. Surely it didn't work, did it?
Swing and a miss,
Surely,
Jay.
would a Jewish woman ever let you just live with her forever with the kids and the whole thing? You never hear
she's
about
called your mom.
That's about it. Okay, all right. Richard, what's your question for... By the way, Michael, are you a doctor or something?
I'm a clinical psychologist.
Well, thank God. We didn't know if you could have been a chef.
I could have been anybody, right? I could have been a doctorate in chemistry, for all you know, right?
So, Richard, why do you think the sexual excitement has gone out of your marriage or your concubine, your cohabitation?
Believe me, it's not, man. No, it's not, because the one thing about being over the road driver, it gives me a chance to come home a lot more times than other people do, And when I get home, I don't have time for that, how'd your day go? We get straight to it, and we talk about business after the sex, and because we don't spend so much time together, that makes the intensity for our unions to be a lot more, tough, a lot more rough, a lot more pleasurable, man. So Michael Bader, we'll come back with you in the next hour, Michael. But do you recommend the man, whether he has to leave home or not, go away for a couple of weeks and come back to get the? You don't recommend that, do you?
No, I do. But sometimes going out to hotels and stuff like that helps.
Go to a hotel
and pretending you're someone.
Yeah,
else.
but Michael, if your wife catches you, that really hurts the marriage. That's right. Get my flyer called "Empty Balls, Full Stomach." It's just it's a handout.
Yeah.
But also, Michael Bader's book is "Male Sexuality: Why Women Don't Understand It, Men Don't Either." Go to michaelbader.com. We'll come back and continue talking about it. If the sex has gone out of your relationship, Shuli, how long have you been dating your girlfriend?
Almost 2 years, Jay.
How is it going?
Fantastic.
Sex is still there and everything
Swinging
else?
from the rafters.
All right, braggart. It's Sirius 108 XM 139.
Anal last night.
Oh, shut up.
It hurt.
Mark says hi here from Blue Collar Radio. What is Blue Collar Radio? It's Jeff Foxworthy.
You might be a redneck.
Bill Engvall.
Here's your
It's Larry the Cable Guy.
You're done, that's right.
It's the NASCAR Fan Show.
Gentlemen, start change.
And Blue College Football.
This is Bill Engvall. My team is the Texas Longhorns. Hook 'em.
It's all about you.
Command Master Chief, United States Navy, blue collar, booyah, back from Iraq.
Blue Collar Radio, Sirius 103 and XM 148.
Who's got time to do holiday shopping these days? Waiting on the long lines, going from store to store in search of the perfect gift? Let us help you check off one more box on your to-do list this holiday season. With over 130 channels of music, talk, news, sports, and comedy, Sirius and XM have something for everyone. And with great subscriber discounts, you can get a radio like the versatile Stratus or Express EZ for as little as $19.99. Plus, additional subscriptions start at only $6.99 per month. It's like giving over 130 gifts for one small price.
Get your holiday shopping out of the way now by calling 866
9SIRIXM or visit Sirius.com/new radio and XMradio.com/new radio. So you gotta ask yourself, what's your time worth? Forget the long lines, going from store to store, and get the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Everything worth listening to is now on Sirius and XM.
Slower startup, slower web browsing, slower performance? If your computer isn't up to speed, then you may need ARO to get your PC back in the fast lane.
ARO, Advanced Registry Optimizer, is a high-performance registry cleaner that will turbocharge your computer. ARO optimizes your PC by scanning and fixing errors, which can result in faster startup and load times, fewer errors, and increased computer performance. Best part? You don't have to be a computer expert to tune up your own PC. With ARO, your PC can be fast, clean, and error-free. That's why industry leader CNET says that ARO will clean your computer's clock and keep it ticking. Get a free PC scan right now when you visit getaro.com and use promo code SIRIUS. Then click Scan Your PC Now to get the speed you need. That's getaro.com, GETARO.com, promo code SIRIUS. Click Scan Your PC Now for your free trial of ARO.
Try it free today!
Jay Thomas. New for afternoons. New to 108 and new to XM. Jay Thomas. Stars 2. Jay Thomas. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
JThomas.com. You can email us, you can contact us, and go to the store. We have our newest holiday shirt ready for you. Plus, we have the other shirts that we left over from the election. Obama the Commie, John McCain, Get Off My Lawns. By the way, you've seen these plates that they're selling with Barack Obama's face on them and stuff? Mm-hmm. Those aren't collector's items. These T-shirts that we're selling, these are collector's items. And nobody had the balls to put out Obama the Commie. They just didn't have that.
The guys with the cardboard table out on 49th Street in front of our building selling buttons for Obama. That's
The stuff at jthomas.com that has a picture of Sarah Palin and VPILF. Okay, these are collector's items.
Right. You want people to take you seriously. That's what you buy.
And here is our newest T-shirt, Merry Christmas. It has a beautiful Christmas tree on it. You got a problem with that? That should start a fist fight at any Chuck E. Cheese in America. Michael Baden, welcome back to the show. Michael Bader, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, when you were a kid, they had to call you Master Bader.
They did all the time. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you, once I was online with a couple of other Baders, just by accident, like remote cousins, and the first thing everyone said, we'd never met each other, was, hey, when you were 8 years old, did people call you Master Bader?
Yeah.
It's just,
that's terrible. That's got to screw you up, doesn't it?
It totally screwed me up. It totally deformed me mentally, and I think sent me into the dark zone.
And that's why you became your name, Shuli?
Well, yeah, I got goofed on all the time when I was a kid with that name.
Wait, what was your name? What was it?
Shuli.
Shuli. All right,
he's an Israeli. He's from Israel. And
they used to goof on me all the time. They'd be like, dirty, cheap Jew, stuff like that. I mean, it never rhymed or went along with my name.
There was no rhyming to it?
Nothing.
Did you ever steal your yarmulke and keep it away from you?
One time they stole it and glued a propeller on top of it, and I thought that was one of the worst things ever.
These are bad. Back to Richard of Alabama. Richard, so you say that going away in your truck and coming back keeps your relationship fresh. Is that right, Richard?
Yeah, it works for me. It has so far.
Now, Mr. Bader, Michael Bader, what do you, if you're not a truck driver, if you're not a person that leaves, what do you do to simulate that?
Well, you got to figure out how to stop or get in the way of the familiarity that grows up in a couple, right? So you're so familiar with the person you're with. You've seen them in every uncomplimentary and complimentary position you can possibly imagine. You know every aspect of their mind, their dark side, their light side, every mood. You've seen everything. And you know them so well that it interferes with your desire and libido, because we can't get turned on if we are too familiar with the person. So you got to figure out little ways, little fictions, little scenarios where you can sort of get more distance from the person. And sometimes it might be, like I said jokingly, but seriously, you go to a hotel. Like, a lot of people have better sex in a hotel. Why is that? because everything's not familiar. You're not home, or you go to a different room to have sex, or you come up with a scenario, or you watch.
Now you have to, but here's the problem: you have to start this conversation, right?
Yep.
And it's embarrassing to you know this woman a long time.
Yeah.
You're kind of like marriage is a big mistake, but we're stuck now. We have to keep doing it.
Right.
So and we've been saying this for a long time. We want gays to get married so they can be as miserable as the rest of us. We've said this a number of times. Here's the deal: you're nervous, and you're looking this woman in the eye, and you don't want to start this conversation. That's men don't like to talk about it.
No.
And then you have to pretend that you want to hear everything that she's going to say, and you want to understand her feelings and all of that. Is it okay just to pretend to get a blowjob? That's the question. Because isn't it the if that's what I'm saying. That's the truth. It's like guys want to hold their ground. I have a buddy he and his wife. It's terrible. They're gonna, as soon as the kid leaves for college, they're done. I said, why don't you pretend? Why don't you change? He goes, no. I'm gonna do, and he's miserable. And I say to him, look, my wife sits down with me. I got to talk to you. She says, first of all, you're not supposed to say anything as a man. You're not supposed to help them. Talk about that for a second. We try and fix it, don't we?
We always do, but there's an old joke Rodney Dangerfield used to tell. He says, I was going at it with my wife one night and nothing was happening, so I turned to her and I said, "What? You can't think of anybody else either?" because people use different fictions, like you say, like imagining you're getting a blowjob when you're not, and those are things that a lot of people find offensive, but I don't. I think they're ways of actually getting into a certain state, and then when you have sex, of course, you both feel better, you feel closer, things are easier. So it's a net good thing, and how can that be a bad thing, really? No. The thing about fixing it, I think, is part of what gets a lot of couples into trouble, because when you know somebody really well and you're a fixer anyway, then you're so sensitive to their every mood and their eye contact and their facial expressions. Can't you tell when you come home in 1 minute whether your wife's in a good mood or not?
I keep my mouth shut.
But you can sense it, right? You sense
yes, I
it like
can.
Electrically almost. Well, so we're sensitive to that in our partners, and that's part of why sexual desire goes down over time. We're so sensitive to the other person's inner feelings that we can't really surrender to our own, and therefore we can't really get excited. And
what about getting on the internet and guys are just jerking off by the they just say it's
by the bucket.
It's by the bucket.
Yeah, no, they are.
Take it to that level.
My God. Yeah. Anybody called masturbator as a child is going to think of a bucket.
Bader, we're on in the daytime. Take it
what
easy.
What kind of man are you? No. I mean, it's a huge thing. I mean, the statistics are impossible to find out.
So it makes you not want to get laid, right?
No, it doesn't, actually. I find that that's not true. That's a myth. The idea is you kind of gave it the office or you gave it the computer, but you can't get it up with your wife, or you don't really want to have real sex. I actually don't think that's true. I think a lot of guys, except, sometimes when guys get much older, like me or you or someone else, then there's
I didn't need you to bring my balls and penis into this conversation.
There are limits to that. But for most men, I think that internet sex, unless they're obsessed with it time-wise and it takes them totally away from their real life.
Like David Duchovny.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. And I never understood. I never got the details of that. Like, how much time was he spending?
You know what? He was getting a divorce.
Yeah.
Or he and the wife were having a battle. This is the rumor that I heard.
Okay.
And it was kind of like Robin Williams never went into therapy unless he got caught, right? So Duchovny got caught, I guess, screwing some women.
Okay.
And he said, "Oh my God, it's not because I don't love you. I am
sex addict.
I'm that's men are liars. I mean, we were raised as Richard of Alabama. Who do you fantasize about when you're not turned on by your this whatever it is? What do you call this affair that you're having, this cohabitation?
I just call it a relationship, man.
Yeah. Who do you fantasize about? Halle Berry?
No. Actually, no. Actually, I picture myself dressed up as Red Skelton in his hobo scene.
I don't know. This is going out of control.
And he meets Ruth Buzzy at the park.
Ruth Buzzy. What are you angry with?
Pretty hot.
Thank you so much.
You're obviously angry with your penis, Richard.
What's the matter? Go to michaelbader.com and you won't be hearing this crappy material. Thank you, Richard.
No, you won't.
There's a net tied around her head. It's real hot.
All right, let's go to Mike of Michigan. Mike, the Jay Thomas
stockings,
Show.
man. Stockings with the ball of the ankle. That's really hot.
All right, Mike of Michigan. Thank you for interrupting Richard of Alabama. How long have you been with somebody? Married or is it? One second, Richard. Single. 1 second, Richard. Other people have troubles.
Single, but if I was going to get laid, I go sing some karaoke.
You do what?
I sing karaoke. If I do like Over the Top or like a Howard Jones song, those girls, they just spread them. They spread them like right there.
So you're saying that if you go to a karaoke bar and would you suggest bringing, let's say you were dating or you were married, you would bring, have you ever heard this, Dr. Bader, where you'd bring your wife or your girlfriend to a karaoke bar?
Never, but I'm very interested in this story.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah. What do you think causes it, Mike of Michigan?
I just think it's the charisma and you shove your dick up your ass and you just get up there and sing that song, man.
What about you carry in your back pocket?
All right, listen. This interview,
this is a high level. This is
no. You want to hear something? Can I be honest? For some reason, having Michael Bader on has caused the unusual listener to start calling. Richard and Mike of Michigan, I can't take any more of this. Thank you very much, both of you. Thank you. Sean Kelly, could you please screen you know something? Could you screen the calls better? Now, you say here that alcohol is a depressant.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to drink. But isn't it the thing, you get her drunk, and it's time tested that after you both have some drinks, your inhibitions fall, and then you can talk to your
wife?
Well,
I'll tell you, you get a two-phase reaction to alcohol. The initial phase is that you lower your inhibitions. All right. The second phase is that your central nervous system gets depressed and it gets harder to perform. So the idea is that you're nervous, and so you drink, and that gets you relaxed and uninhibited. But then at some point, and I've seen it tons of times, the person gets to a state where they can't enjoy it. And that's the problem with alcohol.
Because of the booze?
Yeah, because of the booze, actually. At some point, it's a depressant, It depresses your nervous system, man.
I guess maybe I'm not a big... I'll drink. They used to also say that Coke made your dick not work.
Right? That's true.
But that must have been a lot of Coke, because I'd do a hit a blow and a couple of drinks, and man, I was, James Bond,
No, that's right. That's right. I just think, for instance, around the holidays, people get a lot of depression, they get a lot of anxiety, and shit happens. Right. And so what happens is that when they start drinking to deal with it, then instead of them getting happier and more engaged and more desirous, they actually get kind of shut down, and the sex ends up not being very interesting to either person.
See, my girlfriend.
Now, Shuli, when you hear all of this, Shuli, you love your girlfriend. You've been with her 2 years. Yeah. When you hear all of this, and Dr. Bader, how long have you been married?
I've been married 18 years.
Okay, I've been married 20 years. And so he and I don't know a thing about he and his wife, don't know what she looks like, don't know anything, but he and I would sit down, and in 5 minutes, we would tell the same stories to each other. Don't you think that's true, Michael?
I think it overlap a lot, yeah.
Yeah, we overlap.
Yeah.
So does that frighten you at all, Shuli, that you're not married, and it's inevitable that you're going to have the shitty life that Dr. Bader and I have, and that we have to deal with it and talk to the women and pretend and not drink too much and worry about your penis and the whole thing? Does that worry you, Shuli, at all?
A little bit. I mean, for the most part, it's kind of, some things have already started. And
the doctor's listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, look, here's one thing.
What has already started? Tell me.
Let's see. The other day, I was at home. She was on her way home from work, and I had gotten home earlier than her, which is apparently, some women have a problem with that, I guess, because they want you to work longer than them or the same amount of hours. But anyhow, she sent me a text message and asked me what I was doing. And I said I was just watching TV. And then she sent me one after that said, "That sounds productive," which let me know that maybe there's something else she would like me to be doing.
Yeah.
Cleaning. Were there dishes in the...
There was some cleaning that needed to be done, but I didn't do any dishes. But I did clean up some stuff around, and then...
After the text, you started cleaning?
Yeah, yeah. And so she gets home and she goes, "Oh, the house looks great." I go, "Thanks." She goes, "I guarantee that you did not start cleaning till I sent you that text message." And I looked at her and I go, "What do you think I am? Some lazy sack of shit that just comes home, smokes weed, doesn't get off his ass off the couch, and just sits there and eats Cheetos?" By the way, we're out of Cheetos, right? And and she's like, "No, no, no." Like I kind of turned it around on her, but she knows. She knows.
It's weird, isn't it, Michael? It's like it's a bad relationship.
I wish I knew her as well as she knew me. She's already got me down pat.
Yeah, here's the thing. Do you think that it was a mistake when marriage was invented, Dr. Bader?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the thing.
He's brainwashed. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, you're brainwashed. Well, you make a living selling books about, male sexuality, why women don't understand it and men don't either. My God, yeah.
Marriage is a great institution for raising kids and for being intimate. And the security and connection people have in those two ways is huge, and it's probably one of the deep, longings and needs people have in the world. It's just not a great institution for maintaining a high level of sexual excitement. Now, let me ask you guys this question, because this is something I have found interesting in all the folks I've interviewed and the people who come to see me and whatever, is people come in and they'll say, "I have a lousy sex life. We don't have sex very much." And I ask them, "Well, how often do you have sex?" And here's the thing. If I were to ask you guys, what is the cutoff point where you would say, we're not having enough sex, or we have a problem, we're not having enough sex, how frequent would that be?
How frequent would it be for me?
Like, what's the cutoff point above which you would say, where our sex life is good frequency-wise, below which you would say, nah, we're not having enough?
I think less than one a year is bad.
I knew that was coming.
That's my answer.
Yeah.
Less than one a year is bad, yes.
What about your buddy?
Shuli, what would you say, Shuli?
I think...
Now, you're dating 2 years.
Yeah, I think less than 3 times a week would piss me off.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Because here's the thing. I got some folks that I see who feel like if they have sex less than 4 or 5 times a week, that there's a problem in the bedroom. And then I got other people that say if it's less than once every couple of months. And so we all have this idea about frequency that it fascinates me, because it's like, not just I'm not getting enough from the other person, but also if I don't feel a lot of desire, then that's shameful in some way to a lot of people. Now, why is that shameful? What's the shame about?
Well, the shame is that you're thinking about sex. You turn on the TV. You want to screw every girl that walks down the street. I mean, I'm looking at them on bicycles and talking to them in the car. Like Caddyshack. Yeah, baby, all that. But I will tell you that when I get home, I probably could get laid more than I do.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I get home and I just don't do what I have to do to get laid.
Right. All right.
And then let's say a month or so passes or whatever, and I get all pissed off. You're right. I'm not getting laid, right?
That's right.
And my wife will say, "Well, hell, I haven't seen you even do anything that looked like you wanted to get laid."
That's exactly right.
And then I say, "What, you want me to rub you and to love you and to talk to you? Huh, bitch? Is that what you want, bitch?" And then there's another night down the drain. Yeah.
Yeah, no, God forbid that you actually
I've been
have
there,
to talk
dude.
to her.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Here it is. Men don't want to put the work in, the soft work in. It's difficult. I'm going to tell you right now, this guy Garrett that's in here, Garrett's a young guy. Yeah. He went to Las Vegas on a vacation, didn't take the girlfriend with him. Okay? Okay.
Why bring sand to the beach? That's what my dad
went to Paris and didn't bring me there.
Well, you don't speak French.
I
think it's a sign of a healthy relationship.
All right. Well, Dr. Bader, I tell you what.
Two people trying to avoid each other.
Give us a quick one. Just a quick thing. You have the book, Male Sexuality, Why Women Don't Understand It and Men Don't Either. Would you buy this for someone for Christmas and send it anonymously? How would you give it?
I would. I would be like sending someone mouthwash or something. It's like I would definitely send it to somebody. I'll tell you what I send it to. I would send it to any woman that you know, first of all, who's complaining about their man, right? And always says she doesn't understand him, he's a dog, he's a blah, blah, blah. I would send it to her. And then I would send it to any man who feels too guilty and ashamed of what's going on, as far as you can tell, in the bedroom. Although that's hard to know because men don't talk about it.
No, they don't. And
Women talk about it in great detail, but men don't.
And a lot of guys I know, the more shameful it is, the louder and more proud they are to talk about it with other guys.
They talk about it, but they bullshit.
Right.
They talk about, like, hey, how's your sex life? It's great. It's great, man. It's great.
A friend of mine told me that he can only run around on his wife when they're happy. When they're not happy, no. When he and his wife are happy, he fucks around on her. But when they're fighting, he's in such a bad mood he can't fuck around on his wife.
Well, because he can't perform, you mean, or he doesn't have any desire.
He doesn't have any desire. He's so
well, because he's fighting with a woman. He goes, "What am I going to get another one to fight with?"
No, I swear, it's a crazy thing. When everything's going good at his house with his wife, he finds that when he goes out, I guess women are attracted to him or whatever, and he gets laid. And then he says, "But if I'm fighting with my wife or I'm having a bad time or whatever, I'm not so interested, or they can smell it or whatever." So, and I said, "That's backwards, isn't it? Because aren't women always meeting guys who are saying my wife doesn't understand?"
The fight is what pushes.
That's
the
a
guy.
lie, isn't it? That's a lie.
All the time. The only thing I can say about that is that it shows one thing, which is when somebody's down and they're depressed, they don't really feel sexual, and they don't feel it. They don't put out the vibe, and they miss the cues that might be coming at them because part of them is shut down. And so,
if everything's great at the house and you're out happy and.
Then then they're upbeat, and their libido's back, and they're full of, vim and vigor. Then they might be, wandering around. Yeah.
12-ounce mouse from New Jersey, the Jay Thomas Show. The great Michael Bader, world famous, respected psychologist. His new book, Male Sexuality: Why Women Don't Understand It and Men Don't Either. He's actually given sexual advice to the Pope. Yes, 12-ounce mouse. What can we do for you?
Hey guys, I love the show as usual. Here's the deal. Listen, my friend Michael, all right, you're saying that being married basically is a downer on the sexual activity in a marriage, and that's
in the long run, yeah.
Yes. All right. So, all right, you said it's an institution. What's the positive? All right, you're taking those. So basically what you're saying is when you get married, if F's up all the sex, right? It's going to be a downer. But where's the positive points of it there? Right? So now, the sex life is pretty much in a shitter. Yeah. And then, all right, so what's the positive points?
All right, you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
So you say institution.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you. You ready?
But it sounds like a mental institution.
No, you ready?
It is.
Here it is. This is going to sound a little gay, but here it is. Love.
Is it?
Love.
Love, buddy. Love. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Yeah, peace and love. Right. Love how? What, do you want to be held, spooned, ladled? I mean, what am I...
No, not ladled. You want someone to understand you, don't you?
Mikey, you're not making that. Love. All right, could you tell me...
Did you just call me Mikey?
He called you Mikey, yeah.
I haven't been called Mikey since I was about 6.
Mikey. Well, welcome to Sirius Satellite. Okay?
They call you Masturbator.
Now, 12-ounce mouse, are you married or have you been married?
Is there a Mrs. Mouse?
I was engaged. I dodged the bullet. I was engaged.
Okay. All right. Now, do you sit around lonely in your room and think, I'm lonely, I wish I was with somebody?
Yeah, listening to your show. Yeah,
you see,
I love the show.
He's on a roll.
You know what? It's just all been bad for me. Michael Bader, you've been bad for my show. And I don't feel like getting laid. When I got here, I was going to work my wife over when I got home. Now I'm too depressed.
No, that's right. Now, that was my point here, coming on here.
Thank you, Mouse. All right, thank you. Thomas of Georgia, the Jay Thomas Show. Michael Bader is here. His new book, Male Sexuality: Why Women Don't Understand It and Men Don't Either. Yes, Thomas of Georgia.
Okay, first I have a comment. Someone said earlier when I was listening that he's been with his girlfriend. She understands him better than he understands her. And that's the fact. That's a natural fact. Here's why. Go to any magazine in America. Go to any checkout counter at any grocery store and look at all the magazines and the magazine covers, and what do they say? How to get a man.
That's true.
What it says. Understand your man. Oh, so women study us. We don't study women.
No, we don't.
You don't have a cover of Men's Health magazine that says how to get a woman other than how to make your abs better, right? How to make your penis look bigger, right? You're right. I mean, yeah, but I don't think guys would. You know, look, I guess they'll buy your book, but they won't buy the magazine. So so women are studying us, Michael, and then when they get us, they don't like us.
Well, also the thing is that we're a lot easier to figure out. That's the other thing. I think they're so much more complex.
We just got a call from the Cosmo channel. They need Michael over there immediately. Okay. All right, listen. All right. Thanks a lot, Thomas of Georgia. Michael Bader, BADER.com, and his book is Male Sexuality: Why Women Don't Understand It and Men Don't Either. Michael, thank you very much. Where do you practice, by the way?
In San Francisco.
San Francisco. There you go.
I
And by the way, do gay guys have the same problem?
They do. Oh, yes,
the one that's the most feminine one. The other guy has to the more masculine one has to talk to him and hug him and all.
They have exactly the same problem, and in particular, gay women have this problem. They even have a name for it.
What is it?
They call it lesbian bed death.
Ooh.
Which is where women...
Lesbian bed death.
Bed death. Yeah, there it is.
Is that when the vibrator runs out of batteries? What is that exactly?
But you heard it from me. It's after the initial phase of, excitement, blah, blah, blah. It's boredom in bed.
They changed it. Originally it was called fisting non grata.
Michael.
You guys are great. Thank you very much.
MichaelBader.com, a male sexuality book. The
Keeping
Jay
the
Thomas
record
Show.
alive.
Shuli's here. Sirius 108, XM 139.
The Jay Thomas Show. For idiots, by idiots. Non-stop idiot action. The new afternoon show on Stars 2.
Non-stop idiot action.
Like in the pornos. That made me really come.
The new Stars 2. Sirius 108, XM 139. Ian and Vinny, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. East. Sirius 6 West. On the Ian Vinny replay directly after the show. Maxim Radio with Cavino and Rich. Noon to 3 p.m. East, 9 a.m. to noon West. Maxim Radio with Cavino and Rich. Replayed from 6 till 9 p.m. East. The Jay Thomas Show. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. East. The Jay Thomas Show. Replayed from 9 till midnight Eastern. The new Stars 2. The new Stars 2. The new Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Enveloc here, on board a 747, talking to a high-flying VP of sales. How much is the data on your laptop worth?
I'm on my way to a big meeting, easily 2 or 3 million.
What would happen if you lost your files?
I could book a one-way flight.
But with Enveloc Remote Backup,
just one call, and I'd have my files back.
Don't lose anything on your computer. Get Enveloc Remote Backup. Call 1-877-ENVELOC for an introductory offer, or go to enveloc.com. Professional backup that works for your business.
I was drinking more than I should, and I knew it. I just made excuses and wrote it off as stress from work or problems at home. I thought I was functional, but then I realized that just being functional wasn't any kind of life at all. That's when I heard about a free CD from the National Institute for Alcohol Recovery. Turns out it's different from anything else out there, including 12-step or hypnosis. It's based on the latest clinical research, and it really turned things around for me.
This free alcohol recovery CD works in the privacy of your own home. It will give you everything you need to recover and succeed. We guarantee it. We are so sure of your success with our program that if you can find a better alcohol recovery program anywhere, we'll pay for it. So you have absolutely nothing to lose. For a free CD, call 1-800-773-5116. That's 1-800-773-5116. 1-800-773-5116.
Hey, Tom, you look troubled. I am. My business just got rejected for an accounts receivable loan. What am I going to do?
You know, a friend of mine just got an accounts receivable funding line for his small business from Anchor Funding Services. Anchor funds businesses that have accounts receivable within 24 hours. It was fast, no application fees or hidden charges.
Sounds great. What's their number?
Just call Anchor Funding at 866-950-6669. Write it down, 866-950-6669. Or you can go to afs-cash.com. That's afs-cash.com.
Society's oddities played like a fiddle. The Jay Thomas Show. The new afternoon show on Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
in college when I played at Central Piedmont. I was an outlaw. That was our team, black and gold, man. We looked like the Pittsburgh Steelers when we hit the field. All right. It is Sirius 108 XM 139, the Jay Thomas Show. Shuley, you may remember Shuley from the Howard Stern Show. He is you're a reporter at Howard 100 News. Is that what you're called?
Yeah, reporter on Howard 100 News.
You don't have like a title? You're not like the vice president? Or do you have a boss over there, like a news director?
I do have a news director. Brad Driver is my news director. He has a title, but I don't. I'm news.
And you just started as a newsman, and they haven't.
I was actually brought in as a consultant. I was just brought in.
What's that?
I was brought in as a consultant to
consult what?
To basically teach the journalists that were hired to be the news team at the time about the show. Like, they didn't know the show from a super fan point of view. They didn't know all the players on the show.
Oh, God forbid you have to be a super fan.
Well, if you're going to report on it, you got to know.
Show, it's all about Howard. That's
right.
Why they
you got to know. Yeah, you got to know what you're reporting on. You got to know that Artie Lang is a member of the cast of the show, not necessarily a whack packer, along with Beetlejuice and stuff like that.
So, did you have classes? Did you have like a big blackboard? And
I had a mafia task force chart up on the wall my first day with Howard's picture at the very top and everybody else down below.
And the news people that he hired, Lisa G, right? Is
Lisa
one of them?
G, Steve Langford, Ralph Howard.
These were real news people.
Oh, yeah.
From reputable, news organizations.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. These were professional.
And people that probably hated Howard and thought that his form of radio was abhorrent to broadcasting.
I wouldn't doubt that, sure.
Yeah, okay. And you taught them. Wow.
Yeah, and then this comic from Vegas flies in with dick jokes and is about to school these journalists on stuff. But they were very warm and receptive, and the people who weren't
they were. They needed
gone.
a job. They needed a job. Most of them were out in the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were like 14 reporters when I started here. There's 4 now.
I used to say all kind of horrible things about Howard. I'm here now, buddy.
Team player. I'm on board, boss.
You know what? Not only how high do you jump, how far do you want to put it in me? Mike of Utah, it's the Jay Thomas Show. Pretty easy to figure me out at 888-4-102-102. If you like cars and if you watch he's on Speed TV. Alonzo Bowden will be here. He was 101 Cars You Must Drive on the Speed Channel, and he's a comic, I guess, Shuley, that works all over. Was in Last Comic Standing.
Well, he won the 3rd season of Last Comic Standing.
Okay. And he's on. He knows a lot about cars, a lot about stuff. Okay, good. All right, yes, sir. Go ahead, Mike of Utah. Yes, sir.
Hey, I gotta say, I listen on a regular basis, and that was the best damn interview you've done yet that I've ever heard. And then Shuley hit it out of the freaking park with Fisting Non Grata.
With Fisting Non Grata, sure. Well, you know what I've had to learn? I'm always nervous because here's the weird thing, and I do. I feel insecure. I know that Shuley and Garrett are not going to like the guest I have because it's going to be like some psychologist or the toy lady or whatever.
The business guys is those are the only thing, because you're really into business and all that stuff.
No, we had a business guy that scared me to the point where, Sean, what was that guy's name? He has predicted all these horrible
catastrophic things.
Yes.
Salente.
What's his first name?
I forget.
Gerald Salente. He was so scary, and I'm not joking. It took me 2 or 3 days to recover from the depression because he said it's over, right? So, Mike, what I've had to learn how to do is most of these people have heard and seen it all, and so I'm always afraid they're going to get embarrassed or we're going to hurt their feelings or it's going to be boring. But even this guy, he started saying bullshit and my dick. And
he had a fantastic sense of humor. He was a real guy, and you guys were on. I got to say, I like Richard from Alabama every now and again, but he was messing it up. You were good to kick him loose. And then to get to the real subject and have Dr. Bader talk. So,
all right, well, good. Yeah. I'm glad. Yeah, I liked it too. And you know what? Men don't like to talk about it. But when he was saying all that stuff, especially about frequency, that guys complain, and I know guys, I was with 3 guys one night, and we went to this guy's cabin in Northern California. And I don't know how it started, but that we're all married a long time with kids and all. And this one guy says something about sex with the wife or whatever like that. And he says, I get laid every night like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what? He goes, yeah, I have sex with my wife every night. And I said, get out of here like that. So he says to the other guy, well, how many times do you have sex with Joan or whatever her name was? And the guy goes he pauses and he goes, once a week, like that. I said, you're a liar, like that. So the guy says to me, how often do you have sex? And I go, I don't know, twice a week. I lie. Right. Twice a month or whatever. The guy who gets laid every night, who's this square, goes like this. If my wife didn't lay me every night, that would be it for us. Like that. I am so mad. I am so pissed off.
Full of shit.
I hold the anger the rest of the weekend. I get home, I walk into my wife, and I go, can I tell you what happened to me on the weekend? Would you sit down and let me tell you what happened and the embarrassment? And I want to tell you right now, our marriage is in real trouble, okay? I still have, the camouflage gear on, right? And I say, every night, Joe is on top of Linda. Every single night. My wife says to me, would you want to be on her every night? I said, no, absolutely not. She goes, there you go. Then screwing me once every 6 months should make up for that. Okay, I gotta go to bed. I'll see you later. And sometimes at 10 o'clock, I wake her up and I go, Joe's on top of Linda right now. Oh, yeah. So she completely, and she was right. I wouldn't want to, be with that woman every single night. I mean, but he meant it, I think. And, my brother's ex-wife's father, he screwed his wife every night for every morning for 40 years. Every morning he banged her.
Wow.
It's like...
I've been married 23 years, and I just can't even fathom that.
But some of these... I also know this woman that finally got divorced, gorgeous. Her husband was this huge guy. He wouldn't stop eating and drinking, and she screwed him 5 nights a week. And I said to her when they got divorced, I said, gee, I guess because, Al was so fit. She goes, no, he started screaming at the kids, and I couldn't take that. And I'm thinking, what about him being, big and fat? She goes, that never bothered me. And she screwed him almost every night of the week for
weird.
20 years. I know. It's like in some cultures, the old Italian or whatever it is, that's what you got to do. I don't know.
Well, some women are saints, and some men pay the price.
You ever date somebody who was gorgeous and you got tired of it, Shuli?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You've seen that poster of the gorgeous woman, and it says, no matter how good she looks, somebody somewhere's tired of putting up with her shit.
Yeah, well, Billy Martin said that in real life with the Yankees. They were all in this bar, and this gorgeous woman sits down, and all the Yankees go crazy, and he turns to Mickey Mantle. He says, somewhere some guy's sick of that, right?
Yeah.
So that's a real saying. But the thing is, I can remember dating a woman in Florida. I will never forget her. Couldn't wait to get with her, and every night, and I don't know what happened. I got tired of it. And we would go out to clubs and all, and guys would go, my God. And I didn't want to break up with her because everybody wanted to screw her, and I knew I was going to miss her, but I just lost interest. I lost total interest in her, And it was weird. She'd dance around and not wear any underwear and the whole thing. I don't know what happened. I have no idea.
When I first moved out to Arizona after high school, I met up with this little Spanish chick out there, and she was gorgeous.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, and but here was the problem. There's
nothing like an ethnic vagina.
Right, I agree with that. And she was a tweaker. She used to fucking snort speed and crystal meth and all this shit. And I told her, I was like, look, you got to stop doing this stuff. I'm not going to, I'm smoking a joint while I'm, lecturing her on her drug use. But listen, I mean, it's something I didn't want to deal with. I don't like that stuff, and she was like, oh, I'll stop. And then it was one day we had just finished having sex, and I hear her in the bathroom sniffing away, and I told her to put her clothes on, and I kicked her out. And that was
because of the drugs.
Yeah.
You know this.
Wow.
You know this guy Murdoch who owns Fox.
Yeah, Rupert Murdoch.
He was this mean old. There's a book out about him, the man who owns the news, and he let the guy talk to him. He interviewed the guy. The guy wrote the book, and mean, hated everybody, all that stuff. And so now he's friends with like Nicole Kidman, and he's friends with Keith Urban, and he has all these liberals over at the house all the time. And I'm reading this, the story about this book, and I'm thinking, I wonder what changed. He's got a wife. He's like 80. His wife is 35, and she's Asian, right? And because of this Polynesian punani, this guy has changed.
We love you a
completely.
long time.
You know, the funniest thing, though, is all these puppet broadcasters that work for his company that have now bought into this whole, they've drank the Kool-Aid, and they're sitting there telling you that the right is this and the right is that. Meanwhile, their leader is gone. He bailed on
He's
him.
gone. He's moved.
For punani.
And she is, 40 years younger than he is. And they showed him, and, he's with the liberals walking around, and I'm thinking, that's the other thing. I was with a really wealthy guy over the weekend. Big, fat stomach, goofy-looking guy. This is his fifth wife, who's like 35 years old. She's getting him drinks, and she's rubbing his back and the whole thing. And these guys kind of trade him in, Now, I don't. You ever seen farms for cows that are going to be slaughtered? They feed the cows. They take extra good care of the cows because they know at some point there's going to be some meat made out of that. And it's the same thing these 30-year-old broads are doing with these fat old rich guys.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, they're getting them ready for the slaughter.
On a tape played at his false imprisonment trial, singer Boy George admitted to cops that he restrained a male prostitute.
It's a great story.
And who he thought had hacked into his computer. They're always bringing up that. So Boy George had tied this 29-year-old escort guy, and he says, I admit that I had him in handcuffs, so he wouldn't go anywhere while I checked the computer. I wasn't going to kill him. That's hardly going to do my career any good. The escort gets up and says, not only did he tie me up, he was swinging a chair over his head and coming at me. Boy George says, I was doing that before I had sex.
Just to work out a little bit?
He said that was part of my pre-sexual routine.
Can you imagine that?
To swing a chair at a person. Now, look, usually there's a romantic dinner involved.
Yeah.
A movie, some cocktails. You ever coming abroad with a chair swinging over your head?
Look,
handcuffed.
Maybe push-ups. I'll give you wind sprints, all right? I won't even freak out at wind sprints, but to start flinging a chair over your head.
Yeah, bad.
I disagree, by the way. I think killing the guy would totally help Boy George's career at this point.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike of Utah.
Hey, I do have one quick question for Shuli.
Once,
Shuli,
but it hurt, and I needed gas money.
Okay. Was it good to get rid of Penny Crone out of the news department?
No, I miss Penny, man. I like Penny Crone. She was a great lady, heart of gold, and had a huge penis.
So did she leave on her own accord?
What I heard, it was budget reasons that she left. So
that's why I'm hanging up on you now, Mike. Budget restraints.
Yeah, well.
The Jay Thomas Show, Sirius 108 XM 139.
Jay Thomas Show. Every day something new, something bizarre. For you, for now. The new afternoon show on Stars 2, Sirius 108 and XM 139. On Stars 2, the new morning show is Me and Vinny with Vinny Politan.
Coming up Thursday on Me and Vinny, no Vinny, but you'll be there, and Michael Billy will be there too. And guess what? He'll have from Howard 100 News, High-Pitched Mike, who's now come out of the closet, and he's on the Me and Vinny show. Also, celebrity hairstylist Diane Schmidtke will have some hairstyle tips with Michael Billy. All that, Me and Vinny.
Me and Vinny, where the me is you. Me and Vinny. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. East. It's the new morning show on Stars 2, Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Attention migraine sufferers. Do you suffer from migraine or tension headaches? Is the pain unbearable? Do your pills aggravate your nausea? Have you ever wished for faster relief? Well, your wish has finally been answered. It's now possible to stop migraine suffering in minutes rather than hours or days. That's right, it's now possible to stop migraine suffering in just minutes. It's called Dr. Hyson's Headache System, and it will change your life. Developed by board-certified neurologist Dr. Morton Hyson, it's easy to use and clinically shown to relieve migraine pain without pills, shots, or a prescription. Previously available only to his patients, Dr. Hyson's Headache System is now available directly for the first time. Stop the throbbing, stop the pounding, stop the nausea in just minutes with the revolutionary Hyson Headache System. Real relief is finally here for all migraine and tension headache sufferers.
Call 800-338-6251 to put an end to your migraine suffering. Call 1-800-338-6251. That's 800-338-6251 for real relief in minutes guaranteed or your money back. Call 1-800-338-6251. Again, 1-800-338-6251.
Gentlemen, this message is for you if you're using either Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra, or perhaps you never have and it's about time. ClassicTabs.com now has all 5 performance enhancers, Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and 2 new fast-acting tablets that melt under the tongue. Both start to work in as little as 15 minutes. You choose. Go online to ClassicTabs.com or give us a call at 1-800-640-7032. Your prescription will be filled by a U.S. licensed physician, delivered overnight in a privacy envelope right to your door. Now there are 5 male enhancers to choose from. Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and 2 new fast-acting tablets that melt under the tongue. Your decision, your choice. It's that simple. That's ClassicTabs.com, ClassicTabs.com, or call 1-800-640-7032. ClassicTabs.com.
Jay Thomas. Jay Thomas Show. The afternoon drive show on the new Stars 2, Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Take me riding in the car, take me riding in the car, take you riding in my car, I'll take you riding in my car.
They make such a big deal out of Woody Guthrie.
They don't write him like this anymore, Jay.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot.
Click, clank, open up a door, girls. Click, clank, open up a door, boys. Front door, back door, click-a-dick-clack, take you riding in my car.
It's like a mental patient. They're like, I'm going to play guitar. You just talk about whatever's in your mind.
I'm just glad you didn't play This Land Is My Land or all that crap he would sing to the poor people that come out of the Dust Bowl. Hey, it's the Jay Thomas Show, and that's Shuley. Don't forget, Jay Thomas and Friends at Caroline's on Broadway, Thursday night, December 18th. Go to Ticketmaster for tickets, or I guess you can call Caroline's. Shuley will be doing the longest set that night. I'm just going to be window dressing and say stuff like, here are the comedy stylings of Rodney Lee Conover, or whatever. But I'll be hosting it that night, and they serve food and everything at Caroline's, don't they, Shuley?
Oh, they got great food.
Great food, restaurant. You know what, Sean? That's where we ought to have the Christmas party, I guess, right?
Sure, we can get 20% off.
Sure, we can. Sure. Alonzo Bowden, welcome to the show. You've been to You've done Caroline's, haven't you, Alonzo?
I have. Caroline's is great. How you doing, Jay?
I'm good, man. Alonzo, go to alonzolive.com and speedtv.com. He's the host of 101 Cars You Must Drive on the Speed Channel. And you won this last Comic Standing at one time, didn't you?
Yeah, I won season 3 back in 2004.
I've run into...
do you know Shuley? Do you know who Shuley is, Alonzo, stand-up comedian?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I ran into Alonzo a couple times at Caroline's, going back in, like his show was just ending, and then
He's
our
a
show was
short,
coming
bald
up.
Jew, Alonzo.
Yeah, that narrows it down for him in comedy,
Yeah, the
Jay.
comedy world,
Right.
oh, that's Shuley.
Well, I'm the guy who would stink up the green room and make it smell like we did. I'm sure Alonzo got a lot of dirty looks for since he was the black guy leaving the green room. They just assumed it was his
Look
pot.
for Alonzo on the Speed Channel, and in December, Montgomery Cinema and Draft House in Westfield Mall, Silver Springs, Maryland, Arlington Cinema and Draft House in Arlington, Virginia, and the Tempe Improv. These are all coming up right through the holidays, and the Improv there in San Jose. I guess go to alonzolive.com and find out. Now, Alonzo, I'm going to say something totally stupid. I didn't have a fancy car, and so when I was starting to drive, if I liked a girl, some guy in a great car picked her up, and I I hated the guy. I hated that I lost the girl to him. And so I've always hated guys in great cars. And I would say stuff about him like he's got a small penis and he needs a car to make his, dick seem bigger and all that stuff. I mean, did you ever in your life lose anybody or lose a woman because some guy had a hot car?
Let me think. Did I ever lose to a car? No, I don't think so.
How tall are you?
You know why? Because even when I was broke, I always had nice cars. Me and a buddy used to laugh about it. There was a time like when I was unemployed, he was unemployed, and he bought a new T-Bird and I bought a new Mustang, and we looked at each other like, how did we just do that? But
yeah, I don't understand that. If you don't, I see guys with no money, and they always have the most expensive cell phone and a nice car.
I saw a guy with an iPhone coming off the bus the other day.
That's right.
Coming off the bus, he's got an iPhone touching the screen and everything. I'm like, what are you on a fucking bus?
Every year, Thanksgiving and Christmas, the Laugh Factory in Hollywood, they do a charity dinner and shows, and it's for homeless people or people struggling, kids new to the industry, got nowhere to go or whatever. And there's a guy in the line talking on his iPhone through his Bluetooth headset. And you really want
He's homeless, right? Yeah.
You might want to just take the headset off just to pretend. just while you're getting a free meal.
Might even want to throw it on vibrate till you're out of the line.
Something.
101 cars you must drive on Speed
Channel. You love our
Channel.
show, Jay. Because
now I haven't seen the show, so explain it. Do you show the car?
We show the cars. It's every episode is like 6 degrees of separation. Mm-hmm. So we pick cars that have something in common. Like for instance, when we did the movie car episode, we started with a 1927 Bentley, which was James Bond's car in the books.
Right.
And then we went to the Aston Martin that, Sean Connery drove.
And now they've changed it completely. This is product placement now, isn't
now
it?
He's got a new Aston Martin.
He drives a Taurus, doesn't he? A Ford Taurus? Isn't that what he's in now?
No, but then we also did James Dean's cars in that because, he's made the 49 Mercury famous.
What did he die in, James Dean?
He died in a Porsche 1957 Porsche, which we also used. We didn't have a real one. We had a copy.
He was gay, that James Dean.
Wow, you really got a problem with this car thing, don't you?
Yeah, and I heard there was a guy, and after the car crashed, they found James Dean's penis in the guy's mouth. I spread nothing but rumors about guys with...
And the guy wasn't even in the car with him, which was the weird thing.
So you show all the cars, and you'll show like the Studebaker Golden Hawk. Remember that car?
Yeah.
So that.
One of my favorite cars of all time is the Shelby Cobra. I love that car.
Hey, wait a minute. I have a friend that bought one that was nuts. He shows up in this red Shelby Cobra, and I said, "Man, what are you doing?" He says, "I bought it for $75,000." And I said, "What are you going to do with it?" "I'm parking it in the garage." And I just asked him the other day, I said, "What is it worth?" He says, "I just read it's worth $150,000. He bought it like a diamond or gold or something, right?
Yeah, some people do that, and they do go up in value. But we also drove clunkers just because they were, famous cars. I mean, we drove a 59 Volkswagen Bug.
I like the 1980 AMC Pacer.
Absolutely. How do you not do cars and not do a Pacer?
You're right, man.
That was a car. We did the original Honda Civic. If you saw how small this thing was. This thing used 600cc motorcycle engine. So, no, it wasn't a show about just Ferraris and Maseratis. Sometimes it was 101 cars we can squeeze Alonzo into and laugh at him.
I had heard that Shaquille O'Neal had gotten a VW Bug, and I think sat in the back seat or whatever, and they had it made so he could... Did you ever hear that story that he used to have a Bug?
I don't know if he had a Bug, but I know he just bought a smart car because we drove one, and it was the dealership that sold it to him.
But how can he get in it? He's over 7 feet.
Well,
how did he get...
He doesn't drive it. He puts it in his pocket.
Keep the roof off, and you ever go to one of those go-kart places and drive one of those?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he looks in a smart car.
Alonzo Bowden is with us. Go to alonzolive.com, speedtv.com. What on the Speed Channel, is there a specific night you want to guide us to?
Friday
Alonzo?
night, December 5th, they're going to run a marathon. They're going to show all of the episodes. We did 10 episodes, and they're going to show them all back to back, starting at 9 o'clock, and then again at 1 in the morning. So when you come home after the party Friday night, and you're still up, just click on Speed, and you'll probably pick us up around episode 4 or 5, and just get cool cars.
What I have done, and it started as an accident. I've told this story before. I was in Beverly Hills, and I'm waiting for a buddy of mine, and I see this Chrysler 300M or whatever. And I find these cars really cool looking. So this guy comes out in Beverly Hills, and he's typical Beverly Hills looking guy, really, the haircut and all that shit, and the sweater over his shoulder. And I'm having a yogurt or something, right? And I go, hey, man, that's a great car. How much is that? And he doesn't want to tell me. He goes, well, it's blah blah blah.
I got a good deal.
No, he didn't say that, but it was like he got I figured he'd say 35, 40 grand or whatever. Well, no, it's a Bentley. It was a Bentley. It wasn't a Chrysler 300M. So I said to him, and this is totally innocent, I said, what are you talking about, man? It's a friggin' Chrysler. Why are you keeping it a secret? He says, a Chrysler? Look again, my friend. And I look in the front. Well, now this is the truth. I ruined that guy's day.
Oh,
you already know that I hate people with cars. I wait now, and when a guy pulls up in a Bentley, I wait for him to go to the Bentley. I've done it 3 times. It is the most fun you ever have.
Works every time.
They pay $250,000, Alonzo, for this car. To me, Alonzo, a guy that buys a car like that is so full of crap. You have to hate his guts if he's got that kind of disposable cash. It ruins their day. It ruins them.
Well, if you want to have some more fun, when someone pulls up to you in a Lexus, just look over and say, hey, nice Camry.
Absolutely. Because look, don't you ever see a guy in L.A. or not New York so much, but in L.A. he pulls up in a convertible Bentley or whatever it is, and you hate him. You don't like him. You hate him.
He's in the douche-mobile.
If he plays it like that, then you have other guys. Now I got to say, the coolest car guy in the world is Leno, because
he collects them.
Yeah, he collects them. And Jay will pull up. Like we did a show with custom Corvettes, and these cars cost $250,000. So they let me drive one, and Jay owns one. So he showed up at the episode in his, and he looks at me and he's like, hey, you thinking about buying one of these? It's like, Jay, I'm not on network television.
Yeah.
I don't host it tonight. No, I'm not thinking about
Jay
buying a $250,000 car. But to Jay, it's just a car.
He's so ugly that you let him go. He can pull up in a $1 million car, and he still has the face that looks like somebody's foot. You know what I mean?
My favorite are the guys who rent a Ferrari. Like, really? You're going to, like...
Wait a minute. You're talking
do that
to one.
in Vegas a lot.
Wait a minute. I rented like a Lotus from the Beverly Hills. And my wife and I were just married. I rent this Lotus, and I take her up to wine country. And the car would not stop revving at like 10,000 RPMs. So even in first, I was going like 60 miles an hour, and I kept calling the place, and they closed. And I found out that my foot was moving the pad on the floor against the accelerator, and so it ruined it. Look, we're out of here. AlonzoLive.com or SpeedTV.com. December 5th, look for 101 cars you must drive on Speed Channel. Alonzo, thank you very much, man. Fun meeting you.
Thank you, Jay.
Good luck with the show, buddy.
Thank you. Shuli, I'll talk to you Friday morning, either live or on tape. It is the Jay Thomas Show. Sean Kelly, Garrett Andritz, Art Sears, and Andrea Bushy bring us the show, and their whole lives are just focused on me, like the Howard News team. They're just all focused on Jay Thomas 108, XM 139. I wish. No, you just can't.
And now, the nominees are the 2008 Stewie Awards.
The winner is... We have talked about it long enough. Time, the night is here. Kevin Harvick edges Mark Marquez. This is Tony Stewart for the second annual Stewie Awards, where we list the best and worst in NASCAR from the 2008 season. Pretty honored to win the Stewie Awards.
I've seen your trophy case at home. It runs the length of your base.
I already told you. It's going next to the crapper.
The 2008 Stewie Awards, this Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern.
On Sirius NASCAR Radio, Channel 128.
Now, part of the best of Sirius on XM.
Need holiday gift ideas? Sirius has got you covered with a holiday gift guide brought to you by FYE. Take ideas from Sirius hosts. Visit Sirius.com/gift guide. Give them gifts they'll love. Save up to 40% on CD and DVD box sets, new movies on DVD and Blu-ray disc, and gift cards make the perfect gift. Make it easy to get movies, music, games, and more. All from FYE, strictly for your entertainment. Visit FYE.com to find a store near you.
Who's got time to do holiday shopping these days? Waiting on the long lines, going from store to store in search of the perfect gift? Let us help you check off one more box on your to-do list this holiday season. With over 130 channels of music, talk, news, sports, and comedy, Sirius and XM have something for everyone. And with great subscriber discounts, you can get a radio like the versatile Stratus or Express EZ for as little as $19.99. Plus, additional subscriptions start at only $6.99 per month. It's like giving over 130 gifts for one small price.
Get your holiday shopping out of the way now by calling 866-9-SIRI-XM or visit Sirius.com/new radio and XMradio.com/new radio. So you gotta ask yourself, what's your time worth? Forget the long lines, going from store to store, and get the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Everything worth listening to is now on Sirius and XM.
If you're self-employed or you run a small business and you need competitive health insurance, pick up the phone and call the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company. These competitive health insurance plans are underwritten by the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company, and coverage may not be available in all